In today's episode of It Is Impossible to Embarrass B. Dave Walters, I'd like to share with you a little story that happened to us earlier this week. Todd and I were on a different stream, and oftentimes when we're doing our countdown before shows, either I or someone else will just say something funny at the very last second to see if you can get everybody to crack up right before we go live, which is sometimes you see we kind of have like the giggles right when the camera goes up. And we were doing a show where we were being counted down, but apparently the and
I said what I said.
Here we are. I didn't mean for you to hear it. Doesn't mean I didn't mean it. So, let me just say, first of all, before we dive into our show properly, in case we should trim this for YouTube or some other purpose in the future, thank you for everything that you all have been doing over these last couple of weeks. Thank you for all the money raised. Thank you for all the demonstrations. Thank you for standing up, speaking out, using your voice, using your platform. I know it is tiring. I know it is stressful. Hang in there, please, because the real battle is in November. Do not forget the things that you have learned over this time, though. Do not forget your awareness, because when it's no longer cool, when it's no longer trending, when it is no longer the topic of the moment, it will still very much be life for people like me. So please don't forget that. It may be, just maybe, this time we might be able to make some meaningful change. So who knows? But Lord, please, Lord Jesus, register and vote in November. Vote, 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 vote. Now, with that being said, hello and welcome to Anarchs of New York, our Vampire the Masquerade stream here on QueueTimes. Thank you, QueueTimes. I am B. Dave Walters, your storyteller. This is episode 8. There will come a time when you believe everything is finished. That will be the beginning. Let's meet our vampires, and I will introduce you all in the order in which you appear on my screen, which may be different than the way you all look on the Twitch layout. First, Miss Diana DiMicco.
Buongiorno. I am Diana DiMicco. I am the social media and marketing manager for Level Up Dice, and I'll be playing Esther tonight, a badass Brujah bitch.
Hey, Emily.
Hi, I am Layne Floyd. I am the corporate manager for Level Up Dice, and on this wonderful story, I play Cherry, the Toreador vampire.
Mm-hmm. A coy, demure, restrained young woman.
Very understated.
Pinky up.
Pinky up, very, very chaste. Yeah. Justus.
Hi, I'm Justus. I'm the experience director over at Level Up Dice, and on this show I play Dmitri, the gangrel vampire from Mother Russia.
You've deployed the sweeps, too. Like, that's how we know it's serious.
I brought him out for the finale.
X-foils. X-foils are up.
In the attack position. Like, we are going in. Yeah, man. That is a finale mustache. I appreciate that. Mr. Mason Dula.
Yeah, hey everybody, my name is Mason Dula. I stream here on Twitch over on WizardX TV, where I DM most of the time, and occasionally people give me a break and I can play instead. So thanks again for that, B. Dave. And tonight I'm playing Eli Decker. I'm kind of a out of his time cowboy vampire that tries to do right by everybody.
And last but not least, Mr. Todd Kenreck.
Oh, am I on a stream right now?
Oh, camera's live. Camera's live. It worked. I got Megan to turn it on for me. The plan worked.
I guess I have to roleplay now. Hi, I'm Todd Kenreck. I'm the creative manager over at D&D Beyond, but sometimes I'm a vampire named Hugo.
That is true.
Who's a Nosferatu.
Who is a Nosferatu? Also, Ms. Leigh Damage will be joining us at a dramatically appropriate moment. Before I dive back in with the rest of my spill here at the beginning of the show, I think Diana and Justus have two important things to hype. Do you not?
Sort of, yeah. So I think I know what we're talking about. Tomorrow we have the second installment of our fairy tale series where Justus is a singing lute, which we call it our Saturday morning cartoons because it's really early for most people to be sitting and watching D&D, but it's well worth it just to hear Steven. So that's tomorrow on Bard and the Barbarian. And then on Sunday evening, Mr. B. Dave And Mason and Justus and Tanya DePass, Cypher of Tyr, are going to allow themselves to be swept up in a game of Aegon led by myself. You all are playing heroes trying to make your way home after a devastating battle. And it's my job to make sure you have as much trouble as humanly possible.
You've quickly adapted to the DM role. Yes. Yeah. And Justus, you were going to show a little something.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so, cool. The cast got not a sponsor, but we decided to look for some of the best quality VTM stuff out there, and we found the Elderwood Academy spell books that come in your clan colors in this beautiful foil. I took my insert out so that you have a nice little rolling tray, but it comes with a beautiful little foam insert. If you were so inclined, you can still smell the fresh leather and wood.
But there's a mirror. What if you have no reflection?
Well, that's how you tell if you're a vampire or not.
Instant
vampire. That is true. That's true. At least that is how you can tell if you're a La Sombra. If you'd like a secret La Sombra this entire time, yes. Secret La Sombra. That is that masquerade the kids are on about. Is that part of it? You know? Yes. Also, thank you to Level Up Dice that did put this in motion. Of course, the purveyors of high quality luxury dice out of a variety of materials. I have my beloved Ventru dice. You can get them through my affiliate link, which is bit.ly/LUD B. Dave Walters. Last but certainly not least, again, I realize everybody is donating. Everybody's being active. We've raised a ton of money for the Bail Project. There are many, many worthy causes. If you are able to, if it is possible, if it is within your means, please do donate to a charity or a worthwhile organization that resonates with you. And don't feel bad if it's not much. I can verify literally every single dollar counts. So if you can donate $3, just do what you can do. Otherwise, when you can, when the tide turns, do it then. So thank you for everything.
Everything that you donate is something that someone didn't have.
Absolutely. It's not a competition. Yeah, because I hear that. People are like, well, I can only give like $20. I can't give like, 1,000. It's like, it doesn't matter, man. $20 is $20. $2 is $2. And there's been times in my life I could not give $2. So believe me, I get it. But if you can, please do. Lots of people out there need your help right now. Well, lots of people out there always need your help, but yes.
There's also if you can't donate anything, like if you literally do not have $1 in your pocket to spare, there's also a YouTube playlist that you can just put on in the background, and all of the ad revenue generated goes straight to Black Lives Matter. So.
Oh.
I did not know that. If
that's
possible,
nice.
Diana, could you
find the link?
Put it in our chat, and our QueueTimes production overlords can drop it in the Twitch chat for us. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, with that being said, on with our vampire story. Last week, you all were at the circulatory system party put on by Elegy Twain. You were invited to a very swank, state-of-the-art, high-rise art, or I would say art exhibit gallery, where up on the penthouse floor, you all experienced a soiree the likes of which you'd never seen. It has since come to my attention that one of our fair cast members gets squeaked out with graphic depictions of blood and body horror, to which I say, perhaps you've been playing the wrong game, but out of sensitivity, I won't repeat exactly what it was like inside.
No. In my defense, Dave, I don't want you to hold back anything.
Hey, I wasn't gonna out you that it was you, Emily Floyd.
It's me, guys. It's me. Did you all know I have a serious fear of blood, and here I am. If I can do it, you can too.
So proud of you.
I'm uncomfortable when there's not blood.
You're like, what's up with all this not bleeding happening? Again, inside the circulatory system, you will of kindred. Avedon met Malik, a Banu Hakim that was her combat trainer and perhaps more at one point, who had been back in town after he was gone for some time. Miriam made the acquaintance of Elegy Twain, who, after some very shrewd negotiating, found out the people that are responsible for all of the crimes. There's a man named Teague Ruane and another one known only as Ossery. You all had already confirmed independently that Ossery is a werewolf. You'd seen pictures of him in the daytime committing a daylight robbery. As of yet, it is not clear what Teague may be, although you also saw footage of him also attacking the washateria along with Ossery, and there was a thick white cloud around his waist and around his feet, and people seemed to be choking and coughing as he was attacking the place. Elegy told Miriam that, of course, if you all were able to eliminate this particular threat, you would have her thanks and the thanks of the entire circulatory system, which you all found is essentially a string of high-end purveyors of blood. The circulatory system serves two very different functions. On the one hand, it is literally a supper club for well-heeled kindred that like the taste of different kinds of vitae, because it has been discovered that some mortals and other supernatural creatures really do have blood that does different things. And there is a very expensive trade that exists of both locating and acquiring and keeping these unique specimens, and often on occasion moving them around like art exhibits for local well-heeled and influential kindred to come and experience firsthand. The circulatory system is also the center of blood research. There is a heavy influence from the Tremere and some other clans of unlocking all of the mysteries of the Vitae. And that aspect of the circulatory system is very rarely discussed, but everyone knows lies somewhat just under the surface of all of this. In the process of going through this, you also discovered they had lupine there that was literally hanging from the wall with hoses draping off of it so that the kindred could come along and sample its vitae. And you all pretty much figured out that the angry lupine that is kicking in doors and killing people is probably mad about this. Last but certainly not least, Dimitri and hang on. I lost my own notes here. I apologize. Everything shut down all at once. Sorry. You all realized that Dimitri and Eli picked up some new fans in the form of a pair of young Ventru who recently had been left behind when the rest of their coterie, the country club, had headed out west to handle an indeterminate amount of business. They didn't say. They just said they had to go do something and left these poor girls behind. So, last but certainly not least, Cherry had partaken of the lupine blood and felt the heat and fury rushing through her veins as she jumped up and performed another topless art installation display in the middle of the club, drawing all eyes to her as Avedon slipped a note of some sort, or at least tried to, but with Malik's help, succeeded ultimately, slipping some sort of message to the lupine. Now, with all of that having been given, we actually will switch back to the church where, Hugo, you feel yourself awakening. It is obvious to you the moment your eyes open that you're in one of the church's cells, not jail cell. And Apple is nestled up next to you, sleeping quietly.
What? What's going on?
When you start to stir and say that, you see she jumps up with a start and holds a knife up. And it's like, Hugo. Oh, you're awake.
I think so. Yeah.
Hugo, give me your wits and awareness, and also give me your rouse check for the night now that you're just waking up. Again, you're going to roll a blood die or roll a d10. 1 to 5 is a fail, 6 to 10 is a success.
What's red mean?
What
Sorry.
kind of die is it?
I may have rolled the wrong die. There's so many dice. I don't know.
There's never enough dice. Exactly.
Okay.
I'm like you critted on your fireball. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What's an awareness? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, give me the rouse check first, because that will affect the wits and awareness. So right when you wake up for the night, we're gonna see if you're any hungrier.
Yeah, I got an Ankh symbol, I got a Nosferatu symbol, and I got nothing. So what happens when I do that? Or am I rolling the wrong one?
No, you're rolling the right die. Just you only have to roll one of them. Just tell me what it comes up when you roll the one.
Darkness. Just nothing.
That is a fail. So you definitely wake up at hunger 2. The moment you see her concern and fear, the beast sort of like rises up a little bit inside of you. That old clawing hunger sort of gripping at your chest. And it's like, hey, Hugo. They left this girl as your captor, it seems. I didn't like the look of any of this.
No. That would be wrong.
Now, give me your wits and awareness, but replace 2 of those dice with your hunger dice. The red ones.
You're hitting me with that math right away. Hit me with the math.
That's how we do.
This was good timing for his camera, like to just focus on the monster on the back wall instead of Todd.
It was very cinematic, I have to say.
It was great.
That's the face of your beast back there. That's it. From now on, that's Hugo's beast. Everybody, a nos that looks like that thing on the wall back there.
I've got I got 2 Ankhs, a Nosferatu face, and 3 black.
So that's 3 successes. That's cool. Okay. You notice immediately the knife she's got is the knife that Artemis, the hunter that Avedon embraced in front of you. It's one of her knives. She's not trying to hurt you with it. She very much is like, oh, you're awake. Huh. But you recognize that blade.
Where's everybody now?
They went back out. They gathered a ton of info. Cherry tried to tell me, and I didn't really care, honestly. I sat up all day just making sure that you were gonna be fine. And by the time I saw they were awake, I wanted to just rest my eyes for a second, and she reaches over and picks up her cell phone, and you realize it's a little after midnight. And she's like, maybe Brother Kyle or Sister Megan would know where they went.
Yeah, let's call them with your that thing. Can you call them?
She's like, yeah, let me just, I'll go look for them. Actually, they're around here somewhere. Just, hey, wait, don't move. Okay. And she stops for a second and she just turns back and puts her arms around your neck and like hugs you. It's like, that was insane with your like arms and legs and dislocating, and you don't have to hurt yourself for me, Hugo. You know that, right?
Oh, that's okay. I'm already in pain.
She sort of like looks around for a second and she's like, I don't know how this works. Do you need to like eat or something? And she pushes the hair from her neck and just kind of like turns it towards you. She's like, it's okay. It didn't seem like it hurt the other people.
No.
Oh.
No. I'll get something else.
You see, she just sort of nods for a second and she goes, this is just it's just been so fucked up. It's just been so fucked up. And you notice when she says that, it's like the lines in her young face start to get darker, like she's being cast deep into shadow. It's just like around her eyes or her face, and just her general aura just feels a little more menacing. Even though she's a 14-year-old girl, there is like an intensity that comes off of her. And she's like, "Those cops and the whoever hurt my dad, and they hurt you too, and I just want to find them and just do something, you know, like my sister, she's like, I just want to keep you safe. Fuck safe. I don't want safe, Hugo. I want revenge, Hugo." And you notice like small shadows, again, just like the tiniest little wisps, kind of play over her when she says this to you. I don't want safe.
You look real weird. Have I seen anything like this before?
Technically, Hugo was there when she used her ghoul power the first time. I don't, but I would say you've been around enough Lasombra that you probably put together that she got a bit of Avedon's blood. Also, I don't know if somebody's got like a wind vein or like some
I'm gonna
spinny.
go fix it.
Yeah, weather vein.
I'm like, we were joking about there being a mail cart to bring mail to Mason. I'm like, oh, word, the mail cart's here. It's wheeling up outside. Yes, so Hugo would have been present when Cherry took some of Avedon's blood, and you've been around long enough to know that a Lasombra ghoul might have access to something like this.
Oh, that's super not cool. How old is she?
14.
Okay. Yeah.
Specifically, just to make, because again, Hugo would have witnessed this. Avedon had was intentionally trying to give the mother some of her blood, and Apple threw herself on her and just, you know, and that was enough. A human taking in kindred vitae, that's enough.
Yeah, I understand you're angry, and that's normal. I'm angry all the time, but you might want to contain that, because now your feelings have power, and this is not the time. But be angry later. Yeah, be angry later.
Okay. You're right. Just please don't leave. Okay, I know if you leave, I will never find you. Please don't leave.
Oh, okay, I won't.
And she looks down at the knife for a second, and she turns it over and she hands the handle to you. She's like, "Do you need this?"
Oh no, I don't need that.
Good, because I kind of love it. It is a silver karambit. You know, it's got the loop where you can't lose it, so it hooks on your finger, and the blade kind of comes out and curves. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go find one of them. I'll be right back." And she leaves. And a second later, she's gone maybe 5 seconds. You hear the door is open, and you still hear a knock.
Who's there?
I just didn't want to freak you out, cousin. Mind if we have a little chat?
What do you want?
A second later, in the corner, a person in full riding leathers and a motorcycle helmet appears. I believe you were incapacitated before they appeared before. So I'm not sure that you saw them. And they reach up and pull the helmet off, and you see another Nosferatu. She's got bright violet eyes, almost inhumanly bright violet eyes, and thick platinum hair around a gray, scaly face, in very sharp, double-fanged teeth, as all Nosferatu have. And looks at you and she goes, "So you're Hugo, huh?"
Yeah, I think so.
Napalm. your friends are out and about, but I figured I'd just check in and make sure you were all right, because Gigolo told me I had to get you out. The rest of them, they were kind of optional.
Okay. Where are they now?
She pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. And she's like, art gallery in Chelsea.
How do I get there? Do you like press a button and then they come?
Well, I mean, I have to push like 10 buttons, but I could.
Is that too many?
No, that's not too many. Hey, you don't get out of this place too much, do you?
Why would I leave?
I mean, it's the Big Apple. It's the greatest city on Earth. There's a lot to see out there.
Aren't I just out in there anyways, since I'm in it? Is there a difference?
I don't know if that's the deepest or the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Huh. Either way, I like you, man. I like you. Hey, listen. You been to Central Park at all? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah.
Over by the lake, there's a tree. Initials, all sort of stuff carved in it. Our stuff is carved in it. Go over to that tree, stick a knife in it, and start carving. One of us.
Park.
Yeah, it's a lot's happening in the park.
A lot happened in the park before there was a park.
You see, she just sort of like looks at you for a second, and she's like, yeah, it did. Well, I know you met Gigolo, that fat fuck, but you want to meet the rest of your cousins. Come start carving in that tree and we'll find you, okay?
Okay. I'll go there.
You see, she sort of curls her hair up a little bit and puts the helmet back on, and she slides up the visor where you can still see her violet eyes through the frame. And she's like, those others, they really fought hard to get you out of there. I thought they were going to try and leave you, and honestly, I'd have killed them all. So, but it was impressive.
That's nice. I guess.
She turns her head like she hears something, and she's like, all right, till next time, Jack Sparrow. And she flips the visor down and steps back towards the corner, and she is gone.
Jack, are you here?
A moment later, you see Sister Megan comes around the corner. She's wearing her horn rim glasses and her warm smile, and she's carrying a cage with a particularly feisty, very large rat. And she's like, oh, I know. No, I would say don't be afraid, but you should be. You're not going to have a good night, little buddy. when she walks in. She's like, Hugo, how are you feeling?
I pop its head off like I'm opening up a beer can. And I just squeeze it into my mouth.
Oh my.
And I'm just
Meanwhile, it's nice. It's nice. It even has that garbagey bouquet you like. Because at first they were bringing you clean rats. That defeats the purpose. They need to range a little.
I need that rat that ate the street meat that they had to throw out at the end of the night.
Yeah, you need that. You need that A-line after finish. Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, unless any of you had anything else you intended to do in the circulatory system, we're going to start with you all on your way out. So,
could I ask a clarifying question about the circulatory system? I have a picture of the dudes, right?
Yes, you have a picture of Teague and a team of Ossery.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you have a picture of what Ossery looks like when he's not a werewolf, and also when he is a werewolf. I also believe I told you at the time you all knew this lupine looks like him. Like, I mean, they're similar, like coloration. So much so, I believe someone straight up asked Elegy about the bone gnars in Central Park, and she knew it was one. So that was a piece of information you all possess. You don't know what the connection between the two is, just that there is a connection between the two. Yeah. Yeah. So, Cherry, again, you are high on lupine blood, which just basically just makes you aggressive. Essentially, you're more or less on PCP. It is not overly detrimental, or no one would do it. But I mean, you're at 6,000 RPMs now, for sure. As you are making your way out. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
I will just say, just for the sake of my own edification, how do you all get Cherry down off the pedestal where she is toplessly?
You can try, bitches.
I just let this happen. Stand back. You're muted, Justus. You're muted.
Muted Justus.
Muted. If I recall correctly,
I need an extra episode just so we can call it Muted Justice. Yeah.
Eli had bounced. Yeah.
I mean, I had backed away from. You were getting still assaulted by the two fangirls when this display happened, and I was attempting to find Esther, who has since made her way back.
Yes.
Leaving us precariously like this. So I guess if nobody else is doing anything, I'm just going to take my jacket off and kind of celerity forcibly just wrap it around her and kind of pull her down at this point. Let's Cherry, you think maybe just keep the clothes on a little bit more while we're in public would be just great.
You're like the only person who's ever told me to put my clothes on, so you're weird.
Well, that makes me a lot more sad about your life than I thought I would. Let's get going. I'm going to go and try and pull her along towards the door.
How hard do you fight him, Cherry? I mean, like, are you really trying to fight him, or do you sort of like allow yourself to be escorted?
I think it's more like that, like almost like weird drunk girl, like no, but like I'm going, but like I'm for attention, more like struggling against it.
Did I hear the shade that Eli threw?
Give me your wits and awareness. We'll see. You were close by, but we'll see.
Wits and awareness. Okay. Damn, that's only 2 successes.
But I will say the music stopped when she started talking, and you were close. I'd say two successes. You probably heard it all, Esther. Yeah.
I'll giggle and follow a couple paces behind.
Dimitri, as you were turning to leave, the Nosferatu with the white fluffy fur, she looks almost like a moth. Like her ears come out to the long points like a moth's antennas, and she has like a coat of down on her face, and her nose is like pressed down almost like a moth's nose, with a fat fluffy white rat sitting on her shoulder that she's been talking to incrementally. Although she's wearing a couture gown, everything about her says wealth and status, except she's clearly horrifying. She looks at you and she's like, "You have a different look about you. I mean, of course, I'm one to judge, but of all the works of art in this place, I think you might be the finest, sir."
I do not know how to take it as a compliment.
Then just take it as a compliment.
Take a look at myself in my new digs, if you will. Thank you.
Persephone here says, "You have kind eyes."
Can I hear this?
I mean, in the midst of all, you all, she's very conspicuous. She looks like a moth person. So yes, with a rat on her shoulder.
Nobody has
hold on
told
to that for later.
nobody has told Dimitri that he is good looking in probably 50, 60 years. So I like your fur. You are very soft looking.
They just sort of look at each other, and you see she goes to like curtsy a little bit, and the rat does too. You see the rat actually like curtsies on her shoulder. Mm-hmm. She looks, she's like, I have business that is going to be taking me west, but perhaps when I come back, we might raise a cup together. I would like to know the story that has brought you to this place of perfection.
I'm going to look down at my arms and my gnarled hands, and the tapestry that is my skin is I would not call it a happy story, but I would be glad to regale you with it.
She holds her hand out to you like this, and she's like, we Nosferatu know all about unhappy stories, my boy. I didn't always look like this, you know.
I'll take her hand, and I've got some court training in my background. I'll do a little leg and give her a kiss on the hand. Is her hand soft? Is it soft fur?
Yeah, it is very soft fur. It's like downy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's like, my name is Orsino, Dempsey Orsino, and you are?
I'm Dmitry Volkov Borosovich, and it is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. You are a lovely lady, and your hand is the softest thing I have felt in a very long time.
You hear the rat like squeaks, and she's like, quiet, Persephone. He may understand you, you scandalous girl. And do you have feral whispers, by the way?
I do not.
Okay. She just sort of looks at you, she's like, nice to meet you, Dimitri. Although I'm afraid I believe your associates may be departing. I hope to see you at the next gathering of the circulatory system.
I'm not generally invited to this crowd, but here is my beeper number.
She's like, oh, well, if we're exchanging contact info. And when she says that, the rat leans over and just like tucked in the back of her gown, pulls out a business card and holds it out to you with two little rat hands. And it does say Dempsey Arsino. And it's got, it says import export under her name in a number.
When you are back in town, if you would like to have this drink, I am always down for a vodka.
You see, she smiles, and when she smiles, her teeth are similar to the pattern on a moth's wings on her teeth when she smiles, and she's just sort of like, I think I should like that quite a lot. And she's like, I am not blushing like a schoolgirl. Stop it. He can hear you, Persephone. Yes. Well, look at me. It must be that that Frenchman I sampled over there is going to my head. Nice to meet you, Dimitri. I look forward to our next engagement.
The pleasure is all mine.
And she turns and she walks away. And about this time, Eli kind of has Cherry there.
And as he drags me up to this, I literally grab Dimitri by the vest, and I'm just like, "You're welcome," and let go of the vest.
You foolish girl. Leave me be.
As you all are heading towards the elevator and it's coming up, Elegy looks over at you, Esther, and she says, I don't know if I need to say outright. Should you assist us in this matter, your membership for you and even your associates would, of course, be guaranteed.
My dear, have I ever let you down? Sort of as the gates coming down, really dramatic like.
Mm-hmm. And you all hear her say out loud, should you help us, your service is guaranteed. And you are back in the elevator as it is going down. Recall there was the elevator operator there wearing what would have been like a bellhop's outfit that kind of would have fit in a department store in the 1950s. And he looks over at you, Cherry, and he's like, well, somebody had a good night, didn't you? You all saw Cherry drink from the lupine. Avedon did as well. And actually, now that you're all here in the elevator, you realize Avedon's not here.
Oh, drat, we lost one.
Oh my god, I just realized. Have
she'll-
you all seen how nice Dimitri's eyes are?
They're very kind from what I
Yeah, they're like the
hear.
kindest eyes I have ever seen.
You all are foolish. I will not. Do not play games with. This is.
Yeah. Also, where the hell's Avedon? Did we
She'll find her way home. I get the sense that she and the church just sort of end up together.
Cut to Hugo.
You know, he really does have really kind eyes.
Just like making a charcoal sketch there of Dimitri, you know.
I'm gonna have to take him.
Cherry, you look hungry.
Actually,
you look a little worked up.
I feel like really great. Like I don't even feel hungry at all. I feel great.
So maybe we should stop by another party and just let you work all of this out before we go do anything important. It would be so much fun.
Well, we have something to do, but I don't know. I'm never gonna say no to a party, so I think
Eli, please.
Yeah.
How about Dimitri? You discuss this with him. I'll get the car. You guys stay here and keep an eye on her. And I'm just gonna.
Why am I babysitting again? This is not my job.
Dimitri, these guys. I'll hold up the picture. Facing away from the bellhop guy. This is what we got to do.
Hold it up and say, this is what we got to do. You notice he does sort of like avert his eyes a little bit. Like he's sort of accustomed to having to act like he doesn't exist. I mean, very much like.
I'll pat him on the head when he looks away.
He's like, oh, dear. Thank you. Always enjoy a good pat. Yeah.
When he says that, I pat him on the head repeatedly. Just nonstop.
Stop this. Leave the poor man alone.
What? He likes it.
Stop.
Dimitri, focus.
What is it? Where am I?
Point your kind eyes right over here.
You all get back to the lobby of the gallery, which again is mostly what looks like astonishing art, but is basically all for the posers. You all know now, as you continue to go up in the building, the stuff gets better and better, up to and including the art in the penthouse that you yourself saw, Esther, that quite frankly isn't supposed to exist. Many long forgotten pieces and work by artists long believed lost were just hanging casually in there. Dimitri, give me your wits and awareness. Actually, Cherry, you can too, as you all make your way out. This is specifically as you're looking at, not wits and awareness, sorry, wits and streetwise, as you're looking at these pictures. Four.
That's all successes. 6 successes.
Crit or no crit?
No crit.
Dimitri, recall what you all had been told was Han Solo and Chewbacca attacked this washateria. That was what all the witnesses said. And you're like, that didn't make any sense. But as you're looking at the pictures now, you can see it. I mean, he does look like a young Harrison Ford, and he is wearing like a vest in like high need like leather, almost like riding boots. And he's all in blue.
These movies are getting weirder and weirder.
And he is like yelling, like he's like that when and there's this fog all around him. And there's another picture of this same person just sort of like standing on the sidewalk, like smoking a cigarette, like, you know, like somebody took a picture from across the street type thing. He looks young, maybe mid-20s. You've seen his face before, Dimitri. 4 successes, I would say. One of the times you were coming and going from one of the parties, you've come to realize now your organization has essentially served as couriers for the circulatory system before, and you didn't know it. Part of the job is you don't ask any questions. Take this guy to this place, no problem. You know, you somewhere you been picking someone up, dropping somebody off. You know, just I sort of remember that face. Cherry. You, on the other hand, have seen Ossery before. 6 successes. There was I would say a house party, but it was in Central Park. It was one of those flash parties, one of the same type of thing as the pillow party, where they just sort of got together under like a bridge one night, and you know, you just sort of remembered him because he was cute. I mean, he didn't jump out at you in any way as anything significant otherwise. You know that to be at those parties, you either have to be someone or know someone. But beyond that, you're like, that guy was in that circle that time. I'll say with 6 successes, you would even know is maybe a month ago, you know, right when it started warming up at night, basically, and people were getting a little stir crazy right around. In fact, I'll go so far as to say it was the equinox. There was an equinox party in Central Park, and he was at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm gonna relay this to you guys, because Emily is having a hard time remembering the details of Ossery, like that you've relayed from previous sessions. So do I know all of that, or do I recognize him?
Everything I just said, you're aware of, especially now that you've gotten a good look, because the previous picture you had was just a monster killing people.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time you've seen a human face.
Got it.
And you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, oh, it's him. Oh, yeah. It's a really good dancer. Like primal.
You know him?
Yeah. Esther, how long are we going to spend time together before you realize that if you're anyone important, I know you?
He's not so important, and I know who he is too. I've seen him before.
Well, Dimitri, you know the Han Solo guy. She knows the Chewbacca guy. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, this is what we have to. The problem that we're trying to fix right now. This is it. So if you know him, let's go fix it, so that I never have to hear your voice again.
Well,
okay.
Last time I saw him was in Central Park, so guess we're gonna see if there's any parties going on in Central Park.
Oh, that seems like a terrible idea.
That seems like a great idea to me.
I
do not like this babysitting. I wish to do my thing.
What thing is that?
The car
The moth lady?
I usually work alone. I do not like the prattle that you two have. It's too much noise.
You're not saying anything constructive or helpful right now, so I'm just going to tune you out until you have something to add to this conversation. Do you happen to have his phone number, Cherry, or
Storyteller?
No, but again, if he was there, I mean, you could probably make some calls. You could probably find it. You know, I mean, again, if he was there, he knows someone who knows someone, you know?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. and I like pull out my phone and I'm typing on it so hard it's like I crack the screen protector as I dial up the name of the person who hosted the solstice party, equinox party.
That was also your old friend Tiffany that got you in at the last one.
Of course it
It's
was.
Tiffany again. Mm-hmm.
Everyone's collective groan.
I'm just letting you know she dies tonight.
Give me your wits and streetwise, and you can add. I know you've got fame. Did you have contacts as well, or did you just have fame?
Hold, please. Let me check. Fame and herd and resources.
You can add your dice for fame to that roll there. Meanwhile, Eli, as you go walking back to the car, you see standing next to the car Artemis, the hunter that Avedon turned. She is just sort of like resting against the car with her arms crossed. Like,
I guess they let the slack out on your leash, I say as I go to like unlock the door.
she turns and looks at you, and you see the jet black pools of oblivion turn and look at you. And she's like, can you see them?
Yeah, no, that's not it's not the thing I do.
Well, if they offer to teach you, don't. I brought you something.
Am I going to like what it is?
Nope. And she pulls the door back on a van, and you see Hugo sitting on the floor of the van.
Well, I'm glad to see you're up and about, Hugo. As I kind of like I'm just kind of casually grabbing at some stuff in my pockets just in case.
She's like, the vicar told me to make sure you play nice, so. But I don't actually care. But I'm supposed to. That's okay. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hugo. How much do you remember of the past night or so?
Enough to remove your hand from your suit.
Okay, see, because I thought maybe without our interruption, we might have had a discussion about you turning children into vampires and stuff, and how I didn't think it was, an okay thing to do. But if you want to fight about it, we can take that up maybe after we solve the case here, okay?
No. I can make you not a vampire, though. Where are we right now?
So there's an illicit party going on where they've captured some werewolves and stuff, and now
What?
we've got it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. But now we've got a picture that shows us the people we need to find. So this whole nightmare thing's going to be over. Well, some of it, but the gang's waiting for us right down the road there. If you want to,
Where are we right now?
that's a great question.
You're in Chelsea. You are a couple of blocks away from the art gallery. Yeah, I believe you said you wanted to park near the water.
By Chelsea
not
Piers.
Are we
Chelsea
near?
Piers.
So we're not near Central Park yet.
No, you're at Chelsea Piers. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
I should be angry, but I get very forgetful. So just be careful, okay? Because I know I want to kill you, but I don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you would like me to refresh your memory, you had.
No, don't.
Oh, okay.
Don't remind me. That way we can be friends.
Absolutely. And Hugo, I think if we had some more time to get to know each other outside of these circumstances, you'd find we're a lot more similar than you think.
Oh.
You see, I know you're a fan of saying how you feel on the inside, and trust me, we're not far apart.
Oh, that's nice not to be the only one that feels this way.
Yeah, there's something kind of strangely comforting about it, isn't there?
And I give him a hug like Apple gave me.
Is this what people do?
I kind of
He very much gives you like the hug around, even though he's taller than you, he gives you the hug around the neck like a kid would do type thing.
For a moment, I like Han Solo meeting Lando, kind of like for a minute, like I realize it's a hug, and I kind of
no, I still let you hug.
Yeah. You notice like Artemis tenses slightly too, like, oh, we're doing it. Oh, we're not doing it. Okay, all right. we're not doing it. Okay.
Oh, this would be an awful way to die. Just having all your organs squeezed out your butt.
She slides the van door shut and she's like, am I to presume then that you have a lead on your task?
I'm still holding him.
Yeah, we have a lead. We know who we're looking for, and I think we know why they're mad. So I guess you report directly to the vicar now, yeah?
I do, until Avedon returns.
Well, then I think I'm just going to hold on to some of the rest of the information that I have until I talk it over with some people who aren't going to go tattle on us.
She just sort of nods, and you see she walks around to the front of the van, and she says, "Good luck. Don't die again."
Hey, can either of you, as he's still hugging me, can either of you, Eli is incredibly paranoid about what we just saw and the fact that Nosferatu can be anywhere. Is there any way either of you can is our car empty? Like, are we good? Like, can you use your fancy vision to see invisible stuff? Like, I don't know how this works.
She looks around and she's like, there's a 70s pimp. There's a dead jogger. That's weird.
Okay, well, Hugo, let's go.
Nosferatu, the actual reason for gravity on Earth.
True. There's just so many of them. Yes.
Yeah.
She just hops in the van and hits it. Cherry, how many successes did you get?
That was 7 successes with a critical.
Oh my god, hi Cherry. Hello.
Hey,
hi.
All right, listen. You're still where are you? Where are you?
Oh my god, love you so much, Cherry.
I know. Where are you?
Where do you need me to be? I'm
Girl, I need you to help me hook up with Ossery. Do you remember Ossery?
Oh my god, he's so hot. Wait,
right?
Hook up? Like, can I come?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, let's go party.
No, let's see where things go with me and him first, and then we can talk about that. But where can you call him? Can you make this happen? Come on, I'm relying on you. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. And you hear shots. Oh my god, I'm so fucked up. Wait, hey, Cherry. Okay, Ossery, okay, so oh my god, he's so hot.
No!
Hold on, wait. Whoa. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna send you his info now. And a second later, you do see a number that comes up with mega hot written next to it, but HAWT.
Okay, thanks. Bye. I love you.
Like,
I'll talk to you
she's
later.
like, no,
Okay,
seriously,
thanks.
if you're gonna hook up, I want to.
Hang up.
And you see Eli pulls up out front in the car. And you do see Hugo. Where is Hugo in the car? Actually, you may not. Presumably, you drive a tinted vehicle. Where we said you just got like a relatively understated SUV, right? That you were driving in?
Yeah, we tried to find, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, something that was not top tier anymore because we want to blend in a bit better.
Yep. Assuming they're driving, let's just say a nice Escalade, Hugo. Where would Hugo ride in that vehicle?
On the floor.
So I will say
the hum of the axles.
The moment you go to open the doors, you all see Hugo laying on the floor of the car. and you see Cherry naked but covered in Eli's coat. You see Dimitri looking particularly flustered, and Esther looking very satisfied with herself as she teases him mercilessly, departing this establishment.
No, but like, look at me. I don't understand this whole kindness thing, but that's definitely not the look you gave her.
I'm gonna go around to the front and slam the door as I get in this shotgun seat.
You'll never get a woman like that.
You do not need a woman. You stupid.
You know, yeah, that's very presumptive. He may not, he may be into anything these days. It's absolutely up to you. What your preference is, and don't let Esther make fun of you no matter what you do.
No, let Esther make fun of you. That was a ridiculous display.
What is the preference?
What display? What you talking about? I spoke with a beautiful woman, and this is all. She's very soft. She complimented me. I don't wish to talk about this anymore. We have a mission.
Hey,
Nicholas, we do not. No.
Hey,
Hugo.
you're immortal, right? You're a vampire. One with the kind eyes.
I will not enter.
How are you here?
Are you kind?
I have never been called kind.
So, like, if I popped one of your eyes out, would that hurt? I'm just asking.
Hugo!
No, I don't mean it in a threatening way. I just mean like,
How did you get here?
Hugo!
Yeah, Avedon's pet dropped him off not long ago.
Hugo, you notice that Cherry's like eyes are wide.
oh, you're like super really high right now.
I like run like 3 short strides, make it up to where you are in the van and do that thing, that obnoxious thing that's like a shove you in the chest of affection, like to see you. That makes no sense. But it's way harder than I intend to be, but I'm like, you're all right.
Oh, I don't think so.
You're awake. You're here. Where did you come from? How did you get here?
Those two things are accurate. Well, this electric horse carriage took me here, and now I'm here. And he's got kind eyes. I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop thinking about it. And the cowboy, I hugged him. That's about it. Yeah.
What a strange night. Like, even for me, just what a strange night. Oh, where do we need to go? Cherry?
I have a phone call to make.
What'd you guys find out?
I'll pass the pictures up to Eli, because I'm assuming I'm in the back. This is what we got to find and deal with.
Right. Well, that's a picture. How do we know where they are?
Cherry wants to have sex with one of them.
Make a phone call.
I realize Hugo has, mostly been in the church, and Eli is not necessarily a man about town, but you can both still roll your wits and streetwise to see if either of these faces mean anything to you. You never know where you might have been or who you might have run into.
Dimitri, have you let on at all that you know the other one?
Yeah, I said, I knew this dude. Cherry is not the only one who knows things.
Well, do you know where we can find the other one? Presumably, Cherry has not tried to have sex with everyone in New York, so I don't know if she can.
I think we're supposed to go to Seneca Village. I mean, Central Park.
Oh, Central Park is full of werewolves. I don't want to die tonight. If we could not, that would be wonderful.
Maybe I'm confused.
That sounds about right, given the things that you've been through in the past 24 hours, Hugo. But why did you think we had to go to Central Park?
A man told me I have to like scratch something in a tree in Central Park.
Okay, well that's nice. So where is Cherry making a call? Go ahead.
No, I would just say Napalm's the woman. I don't know if Hugo was switching that around on purpose, but like Napalm, she looks like awful, but she's clearly female. What was that? What was that? Wits in Streetwise for Eli and three,
Yeah, 3.
and for Hugo. Again, you never know. You might have been out back and spotted something or overheard a conversation.
I got 3 onks and 2 darkness.
Yeah, so it's 3 and 3. Same thing. No, like it could be anybody. Yeah, could be anybody. So you're gonna make a call, Cherry?
Yeah, I want to call the number that she gave me for Osri.
Nobody answers. And about 10 seconds later, you get a text that says, "New phone, who this?"
I look around everyone in the van, and I turn around and I shrug off Eli's coat, and I take a quick topless selfie, and I send it.
Who's sitting next to her in the car?
You tell who is sitting there. We know Dimitri's up front. Eli's driving. So I would say it's a Escalade. There's 3 rows. So I mean, it's possible no one. You guys tell me where you are in the rest of the car.
I would like to think that I'm accidentally photobombing with just a look of sheer disgust on my face, just in the back of that picture.
You send the topless selfie, and immediately the phone rings.
I look around like, yeah, this is Cherry.
Oh, hey, Cherry. Do you mean to send that to me? Because this is Ossery. Like we met once, like a couple months back at Central Park, but we didn't get to.
Yeah, I know, and I haven't stopped thinking about you since we danced together.
Word. Oh shit. Okay, what's up? Shit. Hang on a second.
I don't think you understand. I want to meet now.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait, just one second. And you hear he like physically muffles the phone. Give me your wits and awareness. Does Cherry have heightened senses?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. I can't remember any of my stuff for some reason.
I get it. It's a lot.
I do. I have heightened senses, yes.
You can add your Auspex dice to this to see if you can still hear what he's trying to say on the other end of the phone.
Five successes.
You hear, and I apologize. I'm going to try and do this. I don't mean to actually deafen you guys with the mic, but I'm going to try. You hear, man, I don't care. No, I know we got to hit him. No, but she's so fucking hot, man. Like, no, we got all night. Yo, I met her in like March. Look at this picture. Fuck you. Look at this. Oh, look. No, fuck you. We'll do it after. Hey. I'm gonna drop you a pin and like maybe you could come, or do you want me to like come through to see you? Like I want to respect you, like you come here.
I'll come to you, and you may not have all night if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm gonna take a shower. And how soon are you gonna be here? He gives you an address that, again, I apologize. I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of the geography of New York City, but it's in the Bronx. So roughly, how far the Chelsea?
We'll be there in 2 hours.
I mean, what time is it?
Yeah. Right. The joy of the world of darkness is intended.
This is like every time I see a movie in New York, they're like, "I'll be there in 15 minutes." I'm like, "No, you won't."
You won't. Yeah, you won't.
This is the actual personal horror. That's what
you'll be there in 3 to 5.
Right. Not the unbearable lightness of being of all of this. Just having
Traffic.
superpowers, still sitting in traffic. Yes, exactly. He's like, okay. I'm gonna text it to you right now. Don't hang up. I want to make sure you got it. Okay. And he does send you an address.
Am I hearing all of this?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be nice. To get a rat to bathe before you eat them.
I got it.
All right. I'm gonna see you in a minute, baby. Okay.
I'll see you in a minute, baby.
All right. Here's our address, and I show it to Eli, and I'm like, got it. It's legit.
Who was that, and where are we going, and why?
I point to the Chewbacca on the picture, and I'm like, it's the guy we're trying to find.
Oh, see,
Sure,
because
was
you
someone
just
else there?
Well, yeah, but what if it's the other guy in the picture?
Well, that would be nice.
is that.
mean-
God, you never want to be called the Chewbacca. Just like, just Harry. Just Harry.
So, and not to overstep my bounds, I'm sorry, but I'm to believe you slept with Chewie.
Oh no, we've only danced, but I had to do what I had to do to make sure he gave us the info. What's the big deal?
No, I'm just making sure when we get there. You see, I have a feeling this can go a couple ways, right? Like, we can get there. He can get really mad that there's like 10 people coming to see him instead of just you, which would be unfortunate because we don't really want to fight him if we don't have to. But we also need him. And I kind of look at everybody else in the car. And I know a few of you, Esther, really like your connections you made back there. But the only peaceful way I can see getting out of this is we need to tell him exactly what we saw back there and who they've got.
Well, let's not be hasty. This is two people. This isn't an organization. These aren't organized hits that are happening. These are two disgruntled individuals that perhaps we can convince that they're wrong.
Yes, but wolves hunt in pigs.
Exactly. And are they, I mean, obviously they're doing some terrible stuff and that should be taken care of, but it seems like to me right now, we are about to potentially make things either a lot better or a lot worse for the majority of people here. Obviously, the people back there, I mean, Avedon's not here, but she can tell you that's not okay with her people. And it's not okay with the wolves either. So I don't know who do we want to hand it to? Because honestly, at this point, I kind of pull up my phone because I have a picture of it. I'm just as fine texting the vicar as I am to showing Cherry's boyfriend what's going on there. But
Cherry
somebody
does not have a boyfriend, first of all.
Well, somebody's got to take care of it, and
Eli,
unless we, yes, Esther.
This
thing-
entire time, I like to imagine that Hugo is just on the floor underneath both of them.
Watching a conversation.
I stretch my legs and they poke out the door a little bit.
Oh, I think.
Eli, the things that Elegy is trying to accomplish, they would benefit all of us, the vicar included.
Really?
So Avedon can be as upset as she wants, but bottom line, there's science in that room that's beneficial to all kindred.
Oh, sure. That's what the Nazis said too.
That's a cruel likeness, and I think you know it. Considering
Well-
everyone in this van has done things that wouldn't be considered on the right side of the law.
My point is, we're between two very powerful foes right now. We have the information that can bring this all to a swift and safe end if we can agree to make that happen.
So what do you expect the vicar to do?
Well, as far as I know, based on my limited knowledge of their organization, they'd and correct me if I'm wrong, B. Dave, but they're not going to take too kindly to the stirring of the pot between the werewolves and the rest of the kindred.
Well, let me lay a few things. First of all, Justus,
Absolutely.
you said 3. What were you rolling for?
No, there's 3 powerful entities here that we're dealing with.
Technically
Okay, no.
correct, yes.
No, please. What was Dimitri going to say before I say anything here?
He was just going to bring up. We have the circulatory system, the Vicar, and the werewolves, and we are smack dab in the middle. There are 3 powerful entities, more powerful than us.
Yeah, so let me just sort of recount for all of you the things that you know and the things that you would sort of know about the world, because I realized we had a little break in there. So a few things. What you all were tasked to do is put an end to the crime that had been affecting this turf kind of around the church, specifically in the form of these robberies, is the thing that you all were tasked with putting an end to. In the course of doing that, you found Gigolo, the Nosferatu, who owned all the places that had been attacked. And he clearly had been there for some time because the place under there was like a speakeasy from the 1920s. You also know the circulatory system. I think you guys have a pretty good handle on how that fits into kindred morality, whether it does or whether it doesn't. It is not necessarily an enemy organization. It just is what it is. And you feel about it how you feel about it. And you would know... So I would say there's no particular reason to believe that the vicar would necessarily be like, I'm shutting all that down. He honestly may not care. He might be a member. You don't know. And there's no way to know either way how he feels.
Yes, the reasoning I had for it was that they wanted to know why they were having issues in their turf. And if that is the direct reason, I don't know. Okay, sure.
Completely valid. I'm not saying don't do that. I would just say
okay.
There is no way to know what response you would get. That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the vicar will do anything but send us right back out here to take care of his problem.
So then, Cherry, you're okay with killing your not boyfriend, Chewie?
Well, no one said kill.
Oh, well, I guess we'll just ask them nicely to leave and don't worry about the fact that they have one of their friends just kind of strung up like a crucifix back there.
Oh, where is this aggression coming from?
Is he human?
No.
No. He's a werewolf.
Oh.
You are aware there is at least one werewolf, and the other person apparently has some sort of power, but was out in the daylight. That is the only thing you know about Teague.
B. Dave.
Yes.
Do we, as kindred, have any reason to believe that perhaps the vicar would have more information if he knew the 2 individuals? Like if we took him the picture and said, these are the 2 who are doing it, do you think he would be able to tell us more about Teague?
All things being equal, he sent Avedon, which you know is his prized pupil. So she might know something, but kindred lie, but all things being equal, you have no you know what? Give me wits and insight.
Okay.
You can all give me your wits and insight.
Damn, I should really put more points in that.
It's wits and awareness is the thing you got to stack up, but insight is useful. Yep.
Out of the way. Too many dice.
4 successes.
4? 2
Yeah.
for 4. Anybody get more than 4?
No.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
2 criticals count as how many?
2 criticals is 4.
Oh, then I got 6.
Eli, you both knowing the vicar and sort of knowing the old religion, you think honestly, if the vicar knew more about these two, he would have been like, go here and take care of these two. Or at least these are the two you need to deal with. Like, you don't think he'd have kept that to his chest. It's possible,
Okay.
but you don't think this is something that he would have hidden if he was aware.
Well, I'm saying, Esther, at the very least, I would prefer to solve the problem without having to fight a werewolf tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds like a fun challenge, but I don't really want to see any of you guys get torn apart.
Who says we're going to have to fight him? I can be very persuasive.
And then she can slit his throat while he sleeps. Problem solved.
Would that work? Do we know if that would work?
Maybe.
Do we,
Outward.
okay.
Well, and you know what? Wits and supernatural to see what you guys know about lupines. No, you all can. Their existence is common knowledge, but again, most kindred never meet one because you kind of get killed. So we'll see if, what you may or may not have heard.
Do you mean wits and occult?
I do mean wits and occult. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I have 4 6s.
I can make up supernatural.
That is true. 2, 4, 4, 4, 2.
4.
Cherry and Hugo, you both know in their human form, a werewolf is about as durable as a ghoul. They're still tougher than a person, but they can be killed. The time that you really run into a problem is when they shift into their half man, half wolf form, and then sort of all bets are off. They are not completely defenseless as people, but they are at their most vulnerable in their fully human or their fully wolf forms. So slitting his throat, especially with a silver dagger while he was sleeping, could probably get it done.
Do we have a silver dagger?
You got a silver dagger.
We got a whole collection of silver stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the chest thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stand by my statement. I can be very persuasive.
And then we'll stick Dimitri on the other one. It'll be fine.
How much silver do we have?
Eli, where in this car was your weapon roll?
Probably would have been. I mean, there's not a trunk, but in the area, the kind of area in the back would have been stuff
in the way back.
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna tell Hugo that it was there? Because until just this moment, when you were like, "We got silver," he probably wouldn't have known.
I'll point to the bag, right here.
In the back. Yeah, go ahead, Hugo.
Oh, and what do I see in the bag?
There is it was rolled up almost like chef's knives. I think we said there was although I think you guys had the brass knuckles on your person already.
We have it on and I split them.
Yep. But there's some silver edged blades. There's a small amount of silver bullets that I think also Eli already had on his person. In just some basic weaponry that was well made, but again, knives. I'll even go so far as to say you got like a silver garrote, because you never know, Eli.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, I think those are the things that would still be in it. I'll go so far as to say you have like a silver like club, like a baton or something. But you very much see many empty holes in this, Hugo, where they clearly have already sort of divvied up some things.
Oh, I'm gonna take a knife.
Hugo, why don't you stay in the back with me here, so that when she goes off to meet her beau, they don't see us.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing, but I'm rather off-putting, and I don't want to scare him away.
You're known to be quite vexing.
Yes, your hair is very bright. That's true.
I know. People hate it.
Well, all right, fine. It sounds like Dimitri and I are playing guards again. Miss Cherry, we're gonna take you and drop you off, and how about you be really careful? You think you can manage that?
I feel like you're talking down to me right now.
You know, I am a little bit after the display from inside there. Yeah.
What display are you referring to? Are you
I'm just gonna
referring
start
to me
driving.
accessing my truth on that pedestal? Are you referring to me unveiling?
Shh, and I'll just cover her mouth with my hand.
Who's driving right now?
Eli.
You know, you can all treat me this way. You can all comment on how much you cannot wait till you don't have to work with me again. You can all talk about how annoying I am and how much you do not like me. But you have to admit that I am helping here. I'm doing everything I can to help. And the fact that no one is acknowledging that.
Thank you, Cherry.
No, look. It's the fact that you are currently high on lupine blood, the fact that you
That's
well-
awfully judgmental.
well, I don't know how long that's going to last for. So if she's going to be walking into an, I don't know if they can smell it. I don't know if they can smell us. If she's walking in there again, I just want to make sure she is in the right mind to make her best judgment so that we don't have to go back to Apple and tell her why her sister didn't come back.
I don't see what the problem is. We have a replacement all ready to go. So
Yeah, just think about it that way, Eli. If I'm not successful, if I'm so high out of my brains that I cannot fucking do this, then surprise, you don't have to deal with me anymore.
Eli,
Well,
you're
hang
high
on.
on vampire blood.
I'm sorry, Hugo, what?
You're high on vampire blood.
In a roundabout way, yes, I am.
Okay, then.
Dimitri, you were...
difference?
Oh, sorry.
What's the difference?
You know, I've never tried the stuff myself, so I can't rightly tell you, but you might notice that Cherry's acting a little more hyper and erratic than normal, if only slightly. But
I've known her about like 3 hours.
that's true. And yet the difference seems to be profound enough that, well, there's a reason they cut her off when they did from partaking. I'm just driving, by the way. We're just making our way downtown.
Dimitri walking fast. Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to do it and I held back.
You were trying to say something there?
Yeah. While this is going on, I'd like to get the picture of the dude that I have seen at some point. Can I borrow someone's phone that has the camera? The pager it's good for meetings, but not so good for the pictures.
sure, call your girlfriend.
Can you unlock it? I do not know how to pull up the camera. I don't do these things.
Oh my gosh. I will take his hand, like leaning through the entire Escalade. I will take his hand, force a finger out, and make him trace the code on the keypad.
You have very little patience for a. I'm gonna send a picture of the person that I have seen to the number that I usually use on my pager, and something very cryptic that just, if maybe somebody was intercepting transmissions, they wouldn't see anything about it. But
right.
Hey, do you know this dude?
Give me your wits and streetwise, and you also you have contacts. Do you have contacts and influence, or just contacts?
I have both.
You can
influence.
You can add. It can be wits, streetwise. Add your contacts and your influence.
Whew. All right. That's a pool.
That should be a significant day, but you're good at this.
This is my thing.
Let's see if the dice agree. It's true. Let's see if they agree.
8, because the two, 8.
But that's with a crit.
Yeah, 2 crits.
A moment later, you get there's a slight delay, and you get in Russian. Do you want the whole story or safe story?
And I'll respond safe and quick.
Former delivery turned associate.
And I'll I'll send back an emoji of a dog's head with a question mark.
You get back half. 1 divided by 2.
I wanted to be known
Justus.
that I am sending random emotes on my own phone.
You're like eggplant. Tears.
Emoji.
Yes. You were saying something else there, Dimitri.
So I don't. The player here does not know, but are there you can be half-blood werewolf?
You can be a half-blood kindred. The wolf's head is the sign of Clan Gangrel, your clan.
You would probably know that.
That's all right.
Yes,
That's
but I was thinking werewolves, and you know what? Emojis are non-specific, right?
I mean, you
That's
have
true.
a book and everything. I'm just saying, man.
You're new at this whole cell phone thing.
It is
Fine.
no. I very much reacted from the you messaged a gangrel a wolf's head. They think you're talking family. In the reply you got back was half. 1
How
divided
do you
by
think
2.
This is Dimitri. That's my question. Has he
What
ever
is the
said
emoji for werewolf then?
Her?
Is it just like woof woof or like?
You know, to anybody that's not a gangrel, contextually, it's probably a wolf head.
It's hard. It's hard.
The number that I'm texting Esther would know based on some keywords that I threw into that initial contact that who they are speaking to.
So
Mhm.
with you using my phone, I'm probably looking over your shoulder, and it probably just looks like gobbledygook to me.
Yeah.
It's
And
they're
then
not.
an emoji, a wolf's head
Yeah.
emoji. Cool.
It's not the Cyrillic characters because I think you can't do that by default. I mean, so it's English characters, but it's clearly Russian words and a wolf's head. But you do see 1 divided by 2.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
send
a wolf head question mark, and the reply is half.
I send one more emoji, the dynamite emoji with a question mark. This is a fun game.
There's a delay, and the response is if he's become a problem. ...
I'm gonna, in the same code, I'll type danger to me, question mark, danger in general, question mark.
A moment later, you get call when you can.
Right. You children, please be quiet. I should not make call with you all in the car, but necessity must. And I will dial the number, and the first thing I say will be, there are other ears.
It is time for tonight's chapter of B. Dave's terrible Russian accent. It's odd to me that I can do a drunk party girl, but not a Russian gangster.
You are what you are.
When you say there's other ears, it's like This man, this Teague, is thin blood. He's trash. Dimitri, you would know, adherents to the old faith very much look down on thin bloods. They're harbingers of the apocalypse. The level of disdain that the hardcore Nodis have sort of varies, but they are a sign of the end times, and so usually, like, Nodis do not like thin bloods.
Now I understand. The emojis are a little tricky. My apologies, brother. This is in Russian. We're gonna stick to the. At least we can disguise it that way. And then I'll say, I'll ask if he's connected in any way, and if there's a problem, if we take him out.
You know, we do delivery. At one time, he was delivery. Then he come to party. Apparently, you know, sometimes they enjoy the feeding, but was a mistake or something at one of their gatherings. They do something to him that didn't work. Did work? Haven't seen. Don't know. But he's not problem for us if killed. No. Yeah.
This is the information I need. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. This number. Do we need kill who has this phone?
No, the phone will no longer be problem.
Da. Das Vidania. And the line goes dead.
And then I'll crush the phone and throw it out the window.
And that's a great place for us to take a break. So we'll do a little 10 here. We'll come back at we'll do Super Deluxe. We'll do 12. We will come back at 50 minutes after the hour for our silky smooth and uneventful conclusion to our little story here. Fuck the police. So apparently when I told this story at the top of the show, you all couldn't hear it. I guess our NSA overlords were quick on the draw this time. What had happened was Todd and I,
in the NSA.
Todd, you know, it's not that I got faith in them. They just know who I am. Just the fingers hovering over the button. They're like, we're ready to just mute this cat. Just hit any time.
I've got a way darker thing to say about that, but I'm not going to say.
Maybe that's why my mic keeps failing. You know, like, you know, Officer Smith, my assigned agent, is like remotely like, no.
How do I turn this off?
Nope. Yeah, nope. Stop talking. Nope. We a lot of times when we're doing these shows, when we have the countdown, sometimes I or someone else on the cast will just say something silly at the very last second and just try and make everybody crack up as we're getting counted in on the 5, 4, 3, 2. And Todd and I were on a stream earlier this week, and apparently the mics were hot before we thought they were hot. And it was like 5, 4, 3. I'm like, fuck the police. 2, 1. We went live. And then afterwards it was like, oh, everybody heard that. And I was like, sorry, not sorry. I didn't mean for you to hear it. I did mean to say it. So, yeah, there we go. Now we got an extra one.
B-Dave knows me and how I feel.
I understand. That's why the stream in question shall remain nameless. We have varying levels of being beholden to varying interests in the things we do, and we try to be respectful of such things. So it was not intentional then. It was super intentional tonight.
So here we go. Because fuck the police.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, what's that? The sound of the stream shutting down? That's weird. Looks like you got a regional outage. Boop.
I mean, what region? All of them? We're all over the freaking place.
Yeah, the West.
Just shut down the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, hello. We have been joined by a wild Leigh Damage. Thank you. I'm glad you could join us here this evening. And now that you are here, I'm just going to throw you totally back into the deep end of what Avedon has been doing these last few moments.
I'm excited she's back.
Yay. Well, Mace appeared. Again, so to set up what happened. You might remember, Avedon, you were at the Circulatory Club where they had the lupine there that they were feeding off of his vitae with a number of unique and unusual people whose vitae to be fed off of. You had met Malik, who is a Banu Hakim. He was your old combat instructor who had disappeared for some time. He actually was your combat instructor and something more, and had vanished. You didn't know if he was even still alive and hadn't seen him in some time before this evening. In the process of you all's discussion, you spoke a certain word to him that adherents to the Nodist faith immediately understand your rank in the greater hierarchy of things, and he pledged his blade to you in service. After Cherry had fed upon the lupine blood, and you had as well, you attempted to get a note to the lupine and were having some trouble with it until he himself smuggled the note, basically stashed it. As far as you can tell, the lupine is naked in its full form. It is obviously still alive. You might recall at one point, Elegy Twain said something to it and it nodded its head. So it is not dead yet, at least. And Fluffle, you see your friends sort of making their way out. You saw Eli sort of pulls Cherry down off of the literal pedestal she was standing on as part of her performance on the lupine blood performance. You caught out of the corner of your eye that white moth-like Nosferatu having a conversation with Dimitri before they all departed, with Esther clearly kind of poking at him like, as they go and get into the elevator, while you yourself are still at the foot of the lupine with Malik standing there. And the way the lupine blood affects you is it is basically frenzy light. It makes it much easier for you to frenzy. So you basically are feeling pretty amped up at this exact second. Still in this kindred soiree. And Malik leans over to you and he's like, "Your friends are departing. Would you like me to escort you out safely, ma'am?"
Yes, perhaps that's wise. Just don't make it look too obvious, and stay a little bit behind them. I'd like to talk to you about a few things on the way.
Absolutely. And he looks up at the lupine hanging on the wall, and again, it's not a particularly big one. It's a little over 7 foot, maybe 7.5 feet. You've heard stories of some that get north of 10, maybe even larger than that. It is a little worn and gaunt. It looks here that you're like looking at it this close to it. It looks like it's probably missed a few meals. In its shaggy hair, just sort of like its body is powerfully muscular, but there's no fat on it at all. Not only is it like sort of ripped up, you kind of can even make out the hints of like ribs and joints with along some of its body there. And here then there are the circulatory system sort of security guys that, again, as the kindred come up to sample from it, just sort of kind of push them off. As you notice, pretty much everybody's.
Do I see any like food laying around, like for the ghouls or anything?
Yes, there's food and normal drink too.
I'd like to grab like a big hunk of meat and bring it over to the werewolf and kind of put it in its mouth.
As you kind of start approaching it, you see the security steps forward and they're like, we'll tend to the beast, ma'am. We don't, we kind of need to keep it sedate.
I look at the guard and I go, "The damn thing is starving. I could taste it when I drank from it. Have you ever heard the term you can't get blood from a stone? That has never been more literal than right now."
You see the woman that Esther was talking to. Actually, Elegy Twain introduced herself when you all came in, but you didn't get to interact with her more than that. Sort of sweeps up in her couture gown, and she's like, "Oh dear, something's wrong. It's the flavor is not to your taste, ma'am."
I can taste the depletion of vitamins. It needs to eat more.
she looks at you and she like walks over, and you see there is one of those young Ventru sucking away at it, and she like literally kind of pulls it out of his mouth and pushes his head to the side, and you see she just goes, the faintest hint. It's clear to you she knows exactly how strong this is. And she sort of says and goes,
Feel that aftertaste, and it lingers in the back of the throat.
She's like, yes, that might be enough for our friend here for one evening. And you hear an audible "aww" coming out of the crowd. And she's like, yes, I appreciate Miss Avedon here is very accurate and astute in her palate. We don't want to be unduly cruel. And then she just sort of goes like, and you see the guards sort of pull out what looks like a dressing booth. The word escapes me. You know, those things you just stand up in the middle of the room to section a room when you go change clothes. I'm losing the ability to word. Screen, basically. They just sort of bring out about a 10-foot screen that is high enough that you can't see the lupine behind it. And sort of just like block it out. And she looks at you like, I assure you, we will see that it is properly tended to. You would be amazed of the resilience of these beasts. A little bit of saline, a little bit of food, and they just bounce right back again.
Yes. Well, see to that, please.
She's like, absolutely. And thank you for joining us here. Yes, with your presence.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Also, I'm glad I could point that faux pas out for you before anyone else noticed.
She looks at him when you say faux pas, she just sort of like winces for a second, and she's like, yes. And you see she looks at you, and it looks like she looks through you for a moment, and she's like, oh. And you see she gives you like a small curtsy, and she's like, you do in fact bless us with your presence.
Indeed.
She's like, is there anything else I can get for you? Anything the drag racers outside might find delightful? That's our takeout driver. You know, people, we have to get there before it gets cold.
I mean, we all have them now. Everyone's drag racing now.
Is there anything else? Again, we've got this fine young man from Florida over there. He is quite an experience for a palate, especially as refined as yours.
Oh, I've got quite the buzz going. It's still potent, despite the slight differential in flavor, but I'll be all right for the moment. Thank you very much.
She's like, well, excellent. Thank you. And I don't know if you had a chance to speak with Esther before they departed, but we talked about a little incident, and she does like slightly nod her head towards the lupine. She's like, if you all were to resolve that for us, I would be happy to extend membership to the circulatory system to you. In fact, I would offer it to someone of your stature either way.
Well, I appreciate that. If you could kindly just point me in their direction of where you've sent them.
Circulatory system? I misspoke. I said circulatory club. It's the circulatory system. She's like, well, they've just departed. I'm sure if you were to make your way out, you could probably catch up to them. I let them know of some people of interest to our organization.
Would you care to write those names down for me?
She sort of like looks both ways, and then she looks at you, and like her eyes sort of defocus a little bit, and you feel a pressure on your mind, Avedon. You know when someone's trying to establish a telepathic communication with you. Do you let her, or would you try and fight it?
I will let her.
A moment later, she says, I'm aware of the vicar's interest in these matters, and I'm appreciative of it. I realize he is acting in the service of his domain and not necessarily our organization, but there's no reason why our needs be in opposition to one another.
Go on.
He would like an end to the chaos in his domain, and we would like an end to the disruption in our operations.
Mm-hmm.
I know why Teague Ruane is fighting so hard. I know why Ossuary is fighting so hard to get this one back.
Do tell.
This is Teague's brother Arthur. He is of the same tribe as Ossuary. They call themselves Bone Nars. Can you imagine what a terrible name?
Quite. Don't tell me that he's some kind of royalty or something as well.
Oh, no. This shaggy thing? Of course not.
Who knows? Don't they have like leaders of their tribes or something?
I suppose alphas or some such.
He's not one of those, correct?
Well, if he is, he's not much of one.
All right. Well, that's less worrisome, I suppose.
Well, I'm sure that he's got a friend or family or pack or whatever that misses him. So do they. Why is his life any more important than that poor one or her over there? Once we have our fill, we release them.
You
It's
do
fine.
release them back.
Well, on occasion, their mistakes are made. You know that sometimes the beast will have its sway. I won't lie to you and say we've not cracked any eggs in our little kitchen, but if you must understand, it's the Vitae loses its power upon death. Killing them would literally be bad for business. I sound like one of those dreadful Ventru. Even though you hear this in her mind, she very much looks at the guy there that she just sort of like took the hose from, like one of those dreadful Ventru.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you know that at least. I was always question things. Never can quite be certain. But
you are shrewd as you are beautiful.
Thank you. I'll be going at the moment. Please do, I would say release this one. If you can, I believe he's had enough.
Unfortunately, his tour's not quite over. I did mention they have significant regenerative abilities, and it was quite difficult acquiring this specimen. They're fearsome creatures, you know.
Let him go. I'll find you another one.
Find me another one, and perhaps we might discuss the terms of his release. Because, and she just takes a step closer to you, even though she's speaking to you mentally, were we to have 2 specimens, that would be of supreme value, and you would have my significant gratitude.
I'll think about your deal.
Please. All of my love is the wrong word. Respect to the vicar. And she gives you a little nod.
I will pass the word along. And I'll turn to leave with my friend.
As you sort of walk away, Malik just sort of you hear as you're walking, everything around you goes quiet again, which is something you've accustomed to happening around him. Like the ambient music and the noise of the cocktail party sort of stops. And he whispers very quietly in your ear. He's like, I know that face. You're planning something.
I need you to get him out.
He looks at you for a second and he looks back in the direction of where the screen is. And he's like, this would carry significant risk, you know.
I'm well aware. If there's anything I can do to compensate you, please let me know.
He sort of stops walking and looks at you and he's like, are you asking me as the beloved of the Dark Father or as a friend?
Yes.
You terrible girl. You always know how to manipulate me. I do not like it, you know.
Oh, survey says that is also a lie.
Do you understand why it is that I just disappeared one night without saying a word?
I would like to think that you had your reasons, but I have often wondered, yes.
Because I knew if I were to tell you I was leaving, and he does like very gently like touch under your chin, with but a word, you would be able to convince me to stay.
And I kiss him.
He gets the tiniest bit of the taste of like the werewolf vitae still on your lips, and you hear almost unconsciously he inhales like. He's like, I have missed all of these flavors. Yes, all right, I will embark upon this chaotic mission for you. Go and locate your friends. I will do what I can for this creature, and when I have done my work, I will contact you, okay?
Sounds good. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. And I wink with one oblivion in my eye, and then I take off.
He gives you like a sweeping bow, and you see as one of the people walks by with one of the trays of blood in the cup, just sort of like takes it off and like sips it as he's just like looking around the room, very clearly casing the joint. Fast forward through the wonder of editing. A stolen sports car comes roaring up next to your SUV, Eli, as you are driving. And Dimitri, you there in shotgun, very much see Avedon behind that. What kind of car would she have stolen? Because there's a lot in Chelsea to take your pick from. What would she have taken?
Something definitely all black and very nice and very expensive.
A Honda Sonata.
With like a super tricked out Accord. Like it's like ground effect, yeah, spoiler.
Yeah.
With like a sweet stereo system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
LED.
Oh, you've been to Seattle. Okay. Yeah.
You all hear the roar of this engine like aggressively pulling up next to you. And Dimitri, and I will say you, Esther, being on the far side, the right-hand side of the car, see her pulling up next to you.
You're muted, Justus.
Yep, you are muted, Dimitri.
He was stopping the drag racing.
Muted Justice.
Is she like just pulling up beside us? Just
Yeah, because you guys are driving in the SUV because you were talking this entire time, and then you know, like right up next to you, you see her car.
This is like right after Dimitri has crushed Esther's phone.
Yes, in fact, Avedon, you sort of have to cut the wheel because something comes flying out of the car. You're like they threw a rock at you or something.
I park the car really badly because now I'm disheveled, and I get out and I go, I believe that was uncalled for.
I'm trying to like twist Dimitri's nipples in rage because he just tried my fucking phone, but I don't actually. Just purple nipples.
You assume
Avedon. Avedon, as you approach the SUV, it's Esther is essentially scrambling over one of the back seats to get to Dimitri up in the front seat. And as you open the door, you see Hugo in the back, along with everyone else.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're all here. And I look at her scrambling towards him, and I go, I'm sure whatever it was, he deserved it. Do we have eyes on anyone else besides us?
What are you talking about? We are driving to a place. We have plan.
We're going to get all three.
What? We have a plan?
We
We
found the
have,
two
like,
who've been destroying everything, and we're gonna go kill him right now. It's fine.
Yeah, we have like half a plan at best.
It's a good plan.
But now that Avedon's here, maybe she could weigh in, seeing as how this is all a mission for her vicar.
I have an associate trying to get the other one out. He looks
He's gonna
like
be really mad.
You think that is wise?
yes. He seemed overfamished anyways. I'm sure if it continued, the poor thing would die, which would end this. Essentially, this one gets their brother back, by the way, is why they are upset. And, well, that
And-
could possibly explain it.
How did you convince them to let the other one go?
Oh, I didn't. I just have, again, associates in high places.
Point of order. Don't you think that they'll be, what's the word? Upset that we tied him to a wall and gave his blood to party girls. I'll gesture to Cherry, and ultimately sort of started this shit, for lack of
Yes.
better phrasing.
But see, here's the thing. Now, the vicar, Emperor Palpatine, is angry at the right people, or will be, and no one will come after us. In the event that the lupines get angry, they'll burn through us indiscriminately, looking for their own. It's just they don't like us very much. They have this thing about being a part of the natural order, and us are probably dead things, and it's the least natural you can get. So to them, we are abominations.
Have you ever met Mummy? They're like way more unnatural.
I've heard legend, and I can agree with you there. If you ever do see a mummy or hear word of a mummy, all of you fucking run. But yes, that being said, at least the vicar will know and will deal with them accordingly. And I believe that they're less likely to mess with the vicar than, a werewolf coming to mess with us just because we're casualties.
I don't understand. We all agreed that what we were doing is taking out the guys who were making all of us look bad and bringing down the people who were behind all this crime. And that's precisely what we're about to do.
It was a good plan.
Oh, I agreed to no such thing. But sure. What was your plan?
We go kill the werewolf.
Cherry's going to take her clothes off again. That seems to have a very calming effect on whoever witnesses it. And then she's going to slit his throat. She's
Yeah,
already primed that particular pump, if you know what I mean. So there's no going back now.
He's in. He's all in.
And if
No.
not, he knows what she looks like, so he'll probably come find her anyway.
Maybe flirt with him and then tell him he's going to be reunited with his brother. I mean, I can't make you do anything either way. I can only give my suggestion and let you know that the other one is loose. She did also say if we brought both of them back, that would be of interest. Your friend, that is, which would also involve you, I believe, not killing him.
Bringing both back. By both, you mean Han and Chewie?
I mean the one she has there, and well, this one.
The one that you're about to set free. So like half
Yes.
the work was already done, and you undid it.
It's not been undone yet.
I guess, yeah, I'm a little confused as well. So it gets, we're supposed to immediately capture him after he gets let go. Is that I'm just
This
trying to
seems
understand the plan here.
Game. He's already there.
Well, you know what? I'm just driving, and I've made my opinion clear. So you all decide what we're doing, and I'll just make
Why
sure
can't
we
we
get
kill
there.
him, Abaddon?
Hmm.
Who does that hurt?
Who does that help?
Other than him. It helps me.
How?
I know there won't be angry werewolves destroying the places that I frequent.
There will be
and
more angry werewolves if you kill this one.
Why? It's obvious that not all of the lupine are upset if only one of them is out destroying shit.
But if two of them go missing and it becomes a pattern, they will
Well,
indeed.
it won't be two if we set the other one free. 1 for 1. It's an even trade.
He's not free yet, I will remind you. And if that does, in fact, go south.
I apparently have too much confidence in your friends in high places.
All right. So you're telling us that Osiri's brother is the one that we sampled at the circulatory system?
That is correct.
Specifically, it is Teague's brother, but Osiri's tribe mate and pack mate. They both have a connection to the guy. Actually, you know what? No, hang on. I'm twisting my own things up here. He is in fact Osiri's. He's Teague's brother. No, I said it correct. He's Teague's brother, Osiri's pack mate. Yes.
And Teague is the half-blood?
Yes. Which you know, but have not revealed yet, Dimitri.
Yeah.
Well, I'm open to suggestions. I can't believe I'm saying that. But with a single text, I could also give him an address to meet us. Well, to meet me. If we tell him to come to the circulatory system,
He will never get past the front door.
Well, he might if he kills everyone in his way, which is not great for business.
But it's not bad for literally everything else.
Look, we were hired for one job. The job is to stop the violence. The circulatory system is garbage that is polluting the city anyway. So why not we kill 2 birds, 1 stone, and we smash the birds together?
I don't know if I quite understand the analogy, but I do agree with Dimitri. And I also would like to point out that I'm also not a fan of keeping sentient creatures captive against their will and draining their life force. So just going to throw that out there in case any of you decide that in your dead bodies you have a heart somewhere still.
Oh, yes, I like this plan.
So we're all just going to destroy my entire way of life, my livelihood, and every connection that I have. Is that what I'm understanding here?
There's always more room at the convent.
Well, look
Hell
at it this way, Esther. You've got so many contacts in this vehicle now. I mean, you and Cherry are like best friends,
I'm
and
people that I like to hang out with.
oh, okay. Well, you know,
I know many interesting people that you would love to talk to.
You just broke my phone. I'm not speaking to you.
It was burner.
It was not.
It is now.
You can have my phone.
Don't want it.
You
I
know
don't
what, Esther?
When did you all become vampire? Like, I don't understand when you all became werewolves instead of kindred. We're supposed to side with our own. And you all are defending some dog who's pinned up on a wall?
Careful with the insults.
I've had too much firsthand experience with kindred forcing people to do things against their will for me to be okay with it much longer.
Oh, so the plan that we just had that Avedon changed to suit her will is fine with you? Because I feel like we're just doing that again now. You know, I'm clearly outnumbered here. If we could try and keep the rest of the circulatory system intact so I have someone left to buy my photography after this, that would be lovely. Thanks a heap. I'll kind of like fling myself back into the back seat of the Escalade.
I'm sure we can find someone. Isn't Williamsburg better for that anyways?
Where did you come from?
You know what, Esther? If it means so much to you, how about after all this is over, what if I were to somehow either buy you another circulatory system or something else that's going to make you feel happy and be able to sell your art to all of your friends, and then they can come there and tell you how great you are? I mean, because if that's what you want, if that's all that you want, you would be surprised.
Am I texting him or not? Someone tell me what's happening.
Look,
Text away or the vicar will kill us all.
all I see is two birds. We smashed them together.
Fine. And I like shift over my skirt and like reposition and take like.
That's not a very good angle. Could I help her?
She is a photographer. I guess the question is, here's the thing, Cherry. Do you think she's really trying to help you take a hot picture, or is she trying to take your phone so you can't text him?
Yeah,
I will say, I look so angry right now that it's hard to believe that I'm being malicious. Like, I'm just like grouchy and like, I know how to do this thing, so I'm gonna do this thing. I have one stupid job on this ship.
You know what, Cherry? Give me your wits and insight. Is she helping or is she not? Let's see. Because she's a strong girl. You've seen this. One.
Oh, God.
I'll leave it up to you. That is not enough. It's up to you whether I literally leave it up to you whether or not Cherry thinks she's helping.
You're the photographer. I am the selfie master. And I like continue getting my butt just in the frame enough.
Oh yeah, the cellulite looks great.
Frenzy check.
Avedon would also like to send a text of the plan to her boyfriend, her little spy over there.
You can give Malik a heads up, like get out of the building. I'm
not gonna tell him any details so that he, like, just in case, you know, his allegiance isn't 100% to us. I'm just gonna tell him to get out once he gets the other one out.
I'm gonna resolve this with Cherry, and then you tell me exactly what you're going to text him, because it is important. Exactly what you're going to text him.
Hugo's pretending to text somebody. He felt left out.
I mean, you do have Gigolo's number if you want to text him. Yes, okay, Cherry. So you're taking your spicy selfie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This cellulite was on, you know, Cosmo's top 10 butts. So just
Cosmo
saying.
did an article called Top 10 Butts.
In the World of Darkness, it did.
Did.
I mean, they must have by now, right? I mean,
yeah, right. Exactly. They just ran out of they ran out of ideas.
But
It's just called like hashtag dead ass in just numbers. You know, they don't even have names next to them.
that's like a way more inventive
Just butts.
headline than they would have come up with.
That is true. It would have been like 12 reasons why guys don't even like asses, you know, because get everything wrong. So
What you're doing wrong about your ass and how you can change it.
exactly. But I
Yeah.
digress. Yes,
It has to be a little bit. It has to be a little bit of negging. It has to like put you down a little bit.
A little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, it's like here's what you should feel bad about your ass. 10.
God,
Yeah.
I love that woman. Anyway, I'm gonna text that to Ossery with
Mhm.
a message that says change of plans.
Mhm.
Come to mine. I've got something special waiting for you. And then I'll give the address that's like not the front door of the circulatory system, but like just a little ways down the street.
A little further down the block.
Mhm.
Okay. He sends you a GIF, that "Let Me Love You" GIF with the ostrich and the giraffe. The giraffe running and the ostrich is coming after it with its like wings all expanded, and it just says BRT.
And I say, I will make your feathers fly.
This poor guy's gonna have a complicated night. Okay. And Avedon is sending what?
I tell him to get out as quick as possible, as fast as he can, with the precious cargo, and make it back to me as unseen and fast as possible.
Where are the emojis for that?
That one would be rough.
Yeah, it's hard.
I just send a bunch of pineapples after it.
Oh, God.
It's true. The universal safe word, pineapple.
Pineapple.
I'm like, if you send 3 pineapples, he comes flying out the window like Die Hard, you know, like, get out. 3 pineapples, no. All right. He sends back working on it. All right.
I write back a little faster if you could.
He replies one more time, trying to live through this.
I don't respond. I just kind of nod to myself and stick my phone back in my pocket. I'll leave him alone. Let him do his thing.
So in the time that you've been driving, you know, you made it a few blocks away. It is New York traffic, because now it behooves me that there's traffic. So I'll say you got
We all knew we were never going to the Bronx. Like, that just wasn't going to happen.
That's all of next season, trying to get to the Bronx. So I will say you've made it about 15 minutes away in the time that you all have been discussing this. And now you all have access to a vehicle with Avedon, should she so choose. You also have the SUV. You know, Ossery is en route. And theoretically, a daring rescue mission is attempting to be performed inside the building. What would you all like to do now? Oh, yes, Dimitri.
First, I will relay to everybody that there is also a different problem. The Han Solo fellow is a thin blood. This may be relevant. I do not know.
Doesn't seem like a problem to me.
If he comes, it means that the wolf has a extra set of eyes that we must be aware of.
Again, Dimitri and Eli, is adherence to the old faith. Again, you all make your own minds up about it, but the Nodis do not like thin bloods, because again, they're harbingers of the apocalypse. Again, how you feel on an individual level is up to you, but you know, from a faith standpoint, it's like they are signs of the end. Yeah.
I would say Eli Moore knows about it and is probably studied it pretty closely than is necessarily worried about it.
And if he shows his face, he might not have a face anymore. This is the thing.
Well, I'm if it's a thin blood and not something else, which given how everything's gone so far, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about. I mean, as I kind of wave to the rest of the car, a single thin blood's not going to be a problem.
Nah. He's just ways that we know that he out there.
All of you give me your wits and occult.
No,
Yeah.
it's all wits all the time.
I know you're enough Nosferatu of action, Hugo. 2, 2, 3.
I'm gonna make you all perception for the rest of.
That's joke's on you. I'm not bad at perception.
And
I'm shocked you've multi-classed into everything.
critical on the blood die is
6 successes.
Is just
6?
regular, as long as there's nothing else.
3.
Yeah, just by itself. Okay, 6.
Okay,
Hugo. So 2, 3, and Hugo 6. Believe it or not, Hugo, as they're all talking and thin bloods and things, and you're sort of looking at the pictures, and you don't know how you didn't see it before. That fog that's around him that almost looks like sea fog that is like chawing and choking and clawing at people. That is a thin blood ability, a relatively powerful one. You know, Eli's probably right. 1 thin blood probably is no match for the 6 of you, but he is not without power.
Wait, where is he?
But he's well, you know that he is with Ossuary, the lupine. You don't know if he's actually going to be coming or not, but you know the 2 of them are a pair, and he is not defenseless.
So doesn't matter how thin something is. If there's many of them, they might as well be thick. They're a threat.
I will also say with a 6 in occult, because I won't say Hugo's been around because thin bloods are a relatively new occurrence, but maybe you got into a prolonged conversation with one of the monks at the at the cathedral one day about why we don't like thin bloods. They are capable of approximating almost any kindred discipline with some research, and even the kindred don't understand how they do it. But they can duplicate almost anything you're capable of through some weird form of alchemy. You heard like one of them, they do things like they can take like motor oil, Brillo pads, and Doritos and mix it together and consume it and then turn invisible. Like it makes no sense, but it's true. With that high a roll, you know it's true, Hugo.
If they take a Brillo pad and a Dorito, I don't even know what a Dorito is, but they can do anything. They can be anything we can do, they can do better. Because they're young.
But their throats rip just as easily as others.
I don't know that they do.
They do.
Hugo, does that mean that they can be invisible and spooky like your cousins?
We're not spooky.
Your cousins are a little spooky. You're okay, but they're weird.
Judgmental.
Yep.
Yes, we can disappear, and they maybe can too.
That could be a problem.
Then you wouldn't know how many of them there are.
Yeah. Well, great plan. We could have just killed them, but no. Like
I like killing.
Yeah, me too.
And I have no qualms with killing him. I mean, obviously they've done some pretty terrible stuff so far, but if we can limit this, why would we not do so?
Well, the text is already sent. The deed is done.
Yeah, and as I kind of like in traffic, just kind of like, well, did he give an ETA? How long is he? How far away is he?
He will be there in minutes. You know, I would say maybe a half hour. All told. Because a motivated lupine moves quickly. And
boy, does he have some motivation.
So again, unless there is something, you all would have some time for some limited preparation because you're already in the area. Like you wouldn't really have time to like leave and do something and come back. Otherwise, you could be ready when he arrives in whatever capacity you want.
I want to basically go to the address that I gave him and just like position myself on the street to greet him. To like,
okay, you can say like down the block or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it is Chelsea, so there's not really like vacant buildings as such. But is your goal to talk to him on the street or lure him somewhere out of the way?
I would imagine it, especially for like way over on the west side of Chelsea, that there's like an alleyway on the block that I can pull him into under the guise of being adventurous, and that once I have him alone, explain where he needs to go and what he's going to find.
All right. So if the plan is for her to gently lure him into this alleyway,
I never said I'd be gentle, but basically,
I do want
the rest of you be doing because you've got time to up however you want, basically, because you will be there before him.
I want to send the picture that I took just in case for some reason he doesn't believe her, so that he has not only more motivation but also like evidence.
like to my phone.
Yeah, like probably just kind of bump phones and send you the picture.
All right.
Of his brother that's hung up.
Touch phones and then the picture's on the other one. Like it's like witchcraft. Like you didn't know they were Tremere.
Could I, perhaps in a shuffle, a moment when it might not be noticed, could I politely ask Hugo to use his phone?
Are you going to ask? Or are you trying to take it from him?
I'm going to ask.
But is your goal to only have Hugo hear you?
Yeah.
Like, then give me your wits in subterfuge. Esther,
put all your points in wits. Put all in wits.
I did, luckily.
And say if Cherry allows it, I want to like mafia style, like have the Escalade parked at the back of the alley she's in, but it's tinted, and just keep the lights off like nobody's there. That way, if something goes wrong, I can movie style hit him with the car first.
Yep. Got it. 3. All of you, Hugo, she's talking to you, so you'll hear it. Cherry, Avedon, Eli, and Dimitri, give me your wits and awareness to see if you clock what Esther is trying to do. 2. Cherry doesn't notice.
I keep losing awareness. There we go.
You just don't have to roll with that.
I'm actually spending willpower because you know what? Why not? How many do I re-roll again?
Up to 3 of the black ones.
3. Okay. Then, well, man, I wish my dice tray was here. Then I wouldn't have dice getting cocked.
I'm happy to finally have a dice tray. I don't have one.
1, 2, 3.
Damn.
I don't.
5.
How crazy is that? So many dice, so many boxes.
Right.
I do not own a dice tray.
Dave,
that's
I want to send
5
you a
for me.
message on Twitter.
5. Everybody sort of has, their minds thinking about what this is, what it involves, what it entails, and quite frankly, what this risks. And as you, hold on 1 second here. Hold on a second here. All right. Eli, you are, you're swapping contacts. You're like, here's the picture. So you have it. And you're like, Esther's saying something. And you kind of like tilt your head a little more. And she's like, what do you say to Hugo, Esther?
Could I could I borrow your phone? The brute messed mine up.
Eli and Hugo are the only two that hear this. The rest of you, your minds are elsewhere. Dimitri, you're running tactical simulations. Cherry, you're thinking about how you're gonna keep Osiri's attention. Avedon, you're sort of like staring at your phone, waiting for like Malik to say something. You're like, look at the building, not on fire. Look at the phone, no text. Look at the building, not on fire. Look at the phone, no text.
Esther, what do you need a phone for?
Just working on that whole loss of life thing that you were worried about. And while I'm doing that, I'm typing Elegy's number into the phone and dialing.
Well, before I am sending a text to my only contact.
That would be Gigolo. What are you gonna text him?
All good dogs go to heaven.
As a Nosferatu,
and then I hand it to her.
Are you texting it to him as a Nosferatu code, or message me in Twitter that what you mean by all good dogs go to heaven, and yes, and hand her the phone. And Eli, you see that she's got Hugo's phone, and you are calling or you're texting Elegy?
Calling.
All right, hold on a second.
I'm gonna grab the phone and smash it.
My celerity is higher than your buddy.
I don't. Is it? Are you sure?
We're on.
Are you sure it is?
Infighting.
Because I want you to know something. I gave a 30% chance she was going to answer, and I rolled 30. So if you don't stop, she is going to answer the phone. What is? I will just say this. I will make it simple. It will be Dex plus Brawl plus Celerity to see if you can take the phone or if she can hold on to it.
Dex, Brawl,
Celerity. Yep.
I gotta hold on.
Meanwhile, I'm hurt.
Do we include? Are we including our hunger dice in this roll?
Oh yes. Oh yes. You replace Black Dice with Hunger Dice.
Oh Lord, no! That's gonna be a willpower.
Trying to make a. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How many willpower can I spend on a single roll?
As many as you want. Each willpower point you spend, you can roll up to 3 of the black dice. But once you've used them, you've used them.
Yeah,
you know what?
I know.
I would like to rouse.
You can't.
So let me roll for that.
What's with the laughing?
I so far have 1, 2, 3,
1 out of 5.
4. I have 5 successes so far, and I am going to rouse, and then I'm also going to spend a willpower.
Okay. Well, you don't have to, but go ahead.
I'm gonna still do it because I'm gonna smash it hard. Well, you know what? I don't need to anyways because I'm gonna let me roll my
Sorry about your phone, Todd.
That's 7. I got 7 total, and yeah.
7 so far. All right. And how many did Esther get?
Yeah, I just put my contacts in there, man.
So
Come on.
Here's a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to spend my last willpower, or does that do something tragic to me?
If you spend your last willpower, it will just be very difficult to defend against willpower-based things. And should you suffer any willpower damage, it becomes much harder to recover. Your superficial willpower, when you go to sleep, when you wake up tomorrow night, will all be back. If you suffer what is called aggravated willpower damage, that takes some time and effort to repair.
All right, let's do it.
I had criticals too. I forgot to count them.
Well, please
Mason's fucking cheating. Okay.
No, I have 3 dexterity. Oh wait, actually 3 dexterity, 5. Let's see, Brawl. I have 3 and a bonus against kindred, and then I have 2 on celerity.
How many total successes, Bruce Wayne?
So you know what? We'll just go 7 because that's I don't want to mess it up afterwards. We'll say 7 because.
All right, Esther. To the rest of you, it is just this streaking blur of keep away, and then crunch, and your phone is bashed.
Oh Hugo, I'm so sorry.
You do hear hello, this is Elegy Twain.
Oh, oops. Were you calling Elegy to warn her that she should get out of the building? Because
Why should everyone else die? You're
You know-
talking about a loss of life. I'm also saying this quietly enough so that hopefully no one else hears.
look, Esther, if everyone in that building is responsible for what's going on right now, they've all chosen to be there. They all know what's
They
going on.
haven't all chosen. Did you not see that there were other people chained up in there? All of those people were in some way, shape, or form indebted or enslaved to Elegy, and you're throwing them at the mercy of all of these wolf people now.
Here's the thing. If you were to warn her and she were to get everybody out of there and we were to send this werewolf to an empty place where his brother no longer exists, how do you think he's going to respond to that? If we have time to talk to him beforehand and be like, look, there's some people chained up in there. Maybe don't kill them because they're just like your brother. Maybe he's going to be reasonable. Why don't we give it a shot first?
So to be clear,
Didn't Cherry give me a phone too?
You've got 2 phones.
Oh, do you? I knew Gigolo gave me a phone. I didn't know that.
I take out my Cherry phone.
He has at least 2 phones. He might have 3.
That's true. You never know. Yeah. Okay. All right. You got
Gave
You got
him the phone for saving Apple.
Yep.
You need the other phone. The other phone broke. Here you go.
That's okay. Hugo, you keep it. You need it.
But he broke my other phone.
He did. Yeah, apparently, I'm just not having good luck with that tonight. To be clear, you think that we're going to be able to have a reasonable conversation with a pair of hoodlums who tore up our entire neighborhood. You think that that's what's going to happen here.
I think it's worth a shot.
All right. Well, I'm going to go find a good spot to post up and watch. And I will do just that. I will go and try and find a good vantage point.
I'm gonna say again, in an alley, there's some fire escapes. You can kind of hang back by the car. You can try and be at the other end of the street, closer to the street. Where would you like? You could be across the street still watching. Where would you like to be, Esther?
I want to be, since we're like, they're set up a little ways away from the actual gallery, correct?
Yeah, you're like a block and a half away.
Am I able to find a nice like corner position where I can see both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, you have enough time that you can all be in whatever position you like here. Okay. We've established Eli is going to stay in the car, so he theoretically could punch it if he had to. Where is Hugo going to be?
I'm gonna get out of this electric horse carriage, and this might be goodbye. What do you think is ugly?
Wait,
Who are
is
you
he
talking to?
I'm talking to the person I'm in the car with. I'm talking to Cowboy.
yeah.
It's me then. Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
everybody was gone. Everybody else is gone at this point. Then.
That's Hugo.
Let me-
Who can say? He might be by himself.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify then. Does Avedon plan to depart the car or stay in the car for this part of it?
She is she followed them in her car after we met up, right? So she's still in
It's
her
up
car.
to you. If you abandon the car you stole to ride with them, or if you kept it, that is up to you. You had access to either, so you tell me.
Oh, yeah, she'll abandon the stolen car. She'll ride with them, and yeah, she'll pop out. She'll head out into the street.
All right, you're gonna get into position, get set up. Okay. Hold on. All right. And Dimitri.
So we're at the mouth of an alley, right? Or the truck is down the end of the alley. Cherry's at the front of it. She's going to seduce some poor guy and drag him into the alley, right?
Yep.
Assuming that this is a dark alley with some gross New York dumpster there, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know New York. There's actually only about
True.
3 alleyways, actually. Yeah, in the entire the entire island.
Common misconception. There are no alleyways in New York, but yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do a couple things before we all separate. I'd like to send a message on my beeper to the number of the Moth Lady, inviting her to a drink right now at a place.
You magnificent sweet boy. Okay, all right.
Up near the church, so it'll reasonably take her a while to get there, but she's gotta leave now if she wants to make the date. I mean, the liaison. How does shape change work with the things that you have on you?
Your possessions change also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have my revolver and load it up with some silver rounds and tuck that into my...
Yep, it'll still be on your person.
Okay, then I would like to do that, and then I would like to shape change.
Well, I'm gonna double check because it's that is not a power that I myself have ever gotten to make use of. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm telling you right. But in the meantime, yes, you're going to shape change. Yes.
Yeah, and so I'll step a little ways away from everybody else because I don't want to surprise anybody, and then I'm just gonna do my thing. And where I was standing is now a very large, very rangy gray and white wolf. Definitely missing an ear. Looks like he's been in a scrap or two. Think Tramp from Lady and the Tramp, except huge and big teeth. Yeah, the New York wolf. And
wolf, yeah.
And then I'm gonna slink behind the dumpster and just have my senses peeled.
Yes, your I will say your effects shift with you, but you cannot access them. I mean, they're magically gone. And yes, Avedon.
I would like to take the sample of the blood that I have that was the lupines that was in there, and shadow step. Like kind of, can I shadow step up? Like, can I shadow step to like a second story or something like that?
Anywhere that there's shadows. I mean, so there's fire escapes. Like it's dark back here. It's an alley. So yeah, you could pretty easily.
So I'm not gonna go too far away from like where the meeting point of our friend is coming to meet us, because I want him to be able to smell it and see it. And I'm gonna take an arm of Ahriman and I'm gonna write the word help in the lupine blood, like kind of up, but close enough to like he might be able to pick his scent up with it, which I assume maybe like a story or two up.
Okay. All right. Okay. To tell you the truth, unless your goal is to hide it from your associates here, you have enough time. You could just go up the fire escape and just do it. But if your goal is to be smooth, you're like, cool, and just lean back and are gone.
Well, I mean, the goal was to get them to fight each other eventually, right? So like that's like ratting them out to the lupines was still kind of part of the plan. So
okay.
I assume I would not need to be stealthy.
Yeah, then no, you would have time to get up the fire escape, through your considerable athletics and your supernatural powers, and come up and do such a thing. Yep.
Sweet.
Be no problem at all. All right. So, my favorite part about this is almost all of you messaged me terrible things directly, and I just want you to know I love all of you human beings. It's my stuff over here is like ping, 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 and I'm like, who's blowing me up? And I'm like, oh, you're all awful. This is perfect.
What's funny is I also had a message.
The question is, who's the most awful?
You know what? Send it, Eli. Send it on, man. Because
it's all good.
Do it. You won't.
You are a treacherous lot of monsters. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I'm currently in the car with just me and Hugo.
And yes, Hugo, you were saying what's ugly to Eli.
So what do you think is ugly?
I think, kind of what they're doing in there, forcing people to do things they don't want to do just because you're stronger than they are.
You think you should make other people stronger?
I don't know.
So that they
Seems
can
like
defend themselves.
I would like to think that, but it seems like so many times when you make anybody stronger, they turn around and use it against other people, just like it was used against them.
But it's better to make other people strong and be weak for them.
Speaking of which, Hugo, if things go terribly sideways here and it looks like Cherry or anybody else might be in trouble, I'll do what I can to hold it back if I can, and if you can just get everyone else out of there, I'd be most appreciative.
I'm older than I look.
Yeah, me too.
Things are already sideways. This is not the happy ending.
No, I don't think any way this goes is going to end terribly happily. No.
You have no idea.
You'd be surprised.
So
I get out of the car and I just kind of nestle in. I try to find trash in the alleyway and I try to bury myself into it. Very near to Cherry.
Okay. Hold on a second here.
And I mutter to myself, but loud enough for everyone to hear.
Monsters. Aren't we all?
All right. When everybody's in position and you've done the things, you would, since Cherry, you said you want to intercept him in the alley.
Yeah.
So you see Esther is sort of posted up, hashtag acting natural against a lamppost over there. Yeah. And please someone collect us hashtag acting natural together. You do see Ossery making his way over. He looks like $1 million. Like his hair is still wet. You can see he very hastily showered, but I mean, he looks ready to go out for a night on the town. And he sort of kind of like looks and he's looking both ways and he sees you and he like visibly lights up. And he walks up like, hey.
Hey. So I'm in the mood for something a little adventurous, and I grab him by the chest part of his shirt and yank him back into the alleyway.
He's like, oh, okay.
I toss him up against the wall and start kind of feeling over his chest and arms and just sort of kissing all over him and trying to get him to just still be of the mindset that this is why he's here.
Hold on a second here. He's like, oh, whoa, this never happens to me. Like I was so surprised when you texted. Give me your wits in subterfuge. If you have a specialty in seduction, it applies.
Oh my God, it's gonna be a guy from Kmart. I swear to God.
Okay, this is gonna go great. That didn't count.
Don't exist.
4 successes.
He are you using your awe?
Not yet.
Okay. He sort of looks at you as you kind of begin touching and kissing him, and he's like, wait. This is crazy. This is crazy. You're Cherry Thorn. Why are you calling me? This is hey, hold on. Is this a trick? Is this like a fucking YouTube prank show? Is Logan Paul come out? If Logan Paul comes out, I'm knocking his ass out.
As he's prattling on about this,
I'm triggered.
I start to feel this this surge going through my veins. I can literally feel what I tasted at the party prickling through my bloodstream. And I dig my fingernails into his arms and I say, I called you here for a reason.
Okay.
I know what you are. I've tasted it, and I want more.
Dominican?
I dig my claws in deeper, and I put my mouth up next to his ear and growl softly, and I say, "You know what I mean." And then I pull back and I bare my fangs.
Since you had time to prepare for this, I'm going to say that you had roused your blood before, so you put on the semblance of being alive.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sees this, like his face just drops, and he's like, "Oh, that's why you called me." And he sort of looks around. And he looks at you again, and he's like, "I don't want to hurt you, Cherry, but I'm gonna need some answers real quick, or this is gonna get real ugly."
If you give me a hit, I'll tell you where your brother is. Your tribe mate. He's nearby.
I would say Hugo and Dimitri, you all are close enough to hear this, because Hugo's physically nearby, and Dimitri, currently you've got the senses of a wolf.
I believe Abaddon would also be close enough to hear that, considering.
Can I read lips?
She was painting it right over where the plan was for them to stand and be having this conversation, so she'd be right above them as well.
So you basically remain on that fire escape after you do this?
I do, but in the shadows.
Okay. You see he does sort of like, he lifts his head up and he looks back at you, Cherry, and you've got your claws dug into his arms.
Mm-hmm.
You feel his arms get about 30% bigger, and like his clothes like stretch slightly, and he just like kind of hunches a little bit. He almost starts to look almost kind of like a caveman. Like the brow over his eyes kind of comes down a little more, and his jaw kind of firms up a little bit, but he doesn't completely change. But I mean, he basically goes from about 170 to about, 240. Like, he's like, "You know where my brother is, Cherry. I got a lot of respect for you, okay? I don't know how you might think this has to go, but we don't gotta get aggressive, but whatever you tell me, I need you to tell me right fucking now, Cherry."
Cherry takes a deep breath and releases her claws on his arms and says, "Well, I'm sure you've noticed I've got a lot of friends around. So we can do this their way. We can do this your way. Or we can do this our way."
Give me one more charisma and persuasion here to see if
And I want to say in that moment, I activate my awe.
All right, then you can add your well, actually, hold on a second. I don't think there is a opportunity to resist awe. Daunt can be resisted. I don't believe awe can. Nope, awe can. So first of all, let's see.
The worst.
Yeah. First, give me your manipulation and presence let's even see if the awe lands on him first.
Okay.
Also, does your shirt stay on just for clarity?
Or was it already off?
I think, during that aggressive making out, it came off like
All right,
almost instantaneously.
Exactly. Like that is your version of going Super Saiyan. Just
Okay. That is a oh boy, hold on. The blood dice has a critical on it. And then there's 5 successes.
Is there another crit or just that one?
There is another crit on the regular one.
All right, so that is a messy crit that you got. So the beast is going to come out and do what it wants here. All right. So how many total was that?
5, and then the crits count as 2. I'm sorry. You'd think by now I would have gotten this.
The crits are 4, so that's 9.
So 9 total.
That is significant success. Technically, that was just to see if the all lands, but I'm gonna let you use that for your roll here. You see, he sort of like looks you up and down as the like awe kind of like washes over him. He does actually like you, and he's like, I don't like, hurting women, and as fucked up as this seems, I actually would like it if maybe we could have that dance. But some crazy shit here is happening, Jerry. And you got your girl up here above me. Fucking tramp over there. And I don't know who else. And I can smell my brother's blood. So
when he says that, Abaddon whistles and goes and points at the help written in the blood. And shadow steps to the other side.
He doesn't like do anything aggressive toward you. I mean, besides like he clearly is getting like amped up, but he's not hurting you or anything. When you whistle, he turns and he looks at it and he's like, but you do, however, have those 9 successes. He's like, what's our way, Jerry?
I bust out of the trash.
Yes, you go.
I bust out of the trash, and trash cans and bags and all kinds of garbage fly in the air, and I just come for him, and I'm like, I'm gonna be your woman, and you're my puppy. Let's die together. And I stab him with a silver dagger. And I want to try like reach my hands around him and shove in, like I'm hugging him from behind.
You can roll it, Esther. You have successfully made it to the doors of the gallery at this point. You're muted, ma'am. Okay.
How big is this building? Remind me. I know it's fairly large.
About 5 stories.
Okay. You tell me, what do I need to roll to see if I can throw a brick through one of the windows on the top floor? Or a stone or something?
That would be, give me either Dex and Athletics, or Dex and Melee, whichever's more for you, and you can add your potence to it because you're yeeting this thing.
Yo.
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the success on the blood die?
It is a crit if it's got the fangs. Otherwise, the Ankh is a success.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my clan.
That is also another crit, so that's a success.
6 successes. Oh wait. Oh crap. Am I supposed to add strength to my opponents?
This is your strength plus brawl plus potence. Yeah. Would be. Oh no. Well, this would be strength plus melee plus potence.
Yeah, plus melee. That's a crit and another success. So 8, 9.
9.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the only thing I'm good at.
Hold on a second here.
Because the crit is double. It's 2, right?
The 2 crit is 4. So you need 2 crit dice, and that is 4 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You all see.
I'm so scared.
You all see. Hang on, let me just make sure I'm looking up the right thing. I apologize.
Never good.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
You see, he's like, "What's you and me, Cherry?" And Hugo runs out and wraps his arms around him and stabs him. And you're like, and you hear the knife go and break on his skin. And he goes and triples in size. And you see, hold on. Hugo, you can give me your dex and athletics.
I refuse. This is not going to end well.
I would have celerity punched the accelerator by now. As well.
I got 1 success and 2 dark.
Cherry and Avedon, you can see that he hits it. He grabs Hugo, tears your arm off, and flings you at the SUV. Hugo, you take 6 aggravated damage. How many health has Hugo got, by the way?
It's valid. It's a valid question. I refuse to tell the
I would
GM.
like I'd use the opportunity to try and shadow step Cherry out of there. If I could shadow step down to a shadow near her and like grab her by the ankle and pull her into my shadows before anything,
And what is your health a function of?
Your stamina +3 and any fortitude you've got.
I have 6.
You, Eli, you punch the gas and come forward, and Hugo's body hits the car and smashes into the engine block and stops the car whole. And he, at exactly your damage, you are in torpor. If he had done literally 1 more point, that would have been the final death. So you see Hugo's crumpled, armless body smash into the car and lay there. And you see this thing is like, Wah! And Avedon, Cherry is gone.
I'm gonna immediately hop out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have the shotgun in my hand, but pointed at the ground. I'll have my other hand in the air, and I'll see if he responds first. If he comes at me to tear me up, then I guess we'll dance. But right now,
you see he turns and he looks up the fire escape where the blood was, and just like leaps up onto it. Like,
hey,
Cherry, where is he? You all hear this.
Okay. Look, I don't know what went down between you and Cherry, but I do know where your brother is.
Esther, how many successes did you get on that yeeting of a brick? So you realize it's made out of something secure, which you'd have expected no less. But with 6 successes, you definitely put a spiderwebbing crack in it. And a moment later, those guards, the same ones that were there when you pulled up in the car, come out, both of them with MP5 machine guns.
I was getting bolted.
Oh yeah. you
I
cracked
no
it. Right. No, it's like yeets and then run back. You hear the lupine roaring, and you hear like gigantic the roar of the Suburban engine and the as it something happened in the alleyway. When you say that, like, I know where your brother is, Dimitri, what are you doing during this? And you are muted, sir.
Oh man.
I know what Hugo says.
You know what? Nobody knows I'm there. I'm observing. I am going to sniff around and see if I can detect the thin blood if he's around. But other than that, I'm going to stay in the shadow and
So-
watch as a big ass wolf.
In this form, you have the wolf's senses. So roll for me. You can roll your wits and awareness, and you can add 3 more dice to it to simulate your heightened wolf senses. Avedon, roughly how far were you trying to pull Cherry away?
Probably as far as my steps could take me to get her out of range, because I assume he's got her scent. And I don't want him to come after her, so far enough away from that. And I'm also going to shoot a text into them to be like, where are we on that plan? See what's going on there.
You blink a couple of times. To you, Cherry, is monster. Hugo's blood splashes across your face as he rips his arm off and turns and looks at you, and you just feel arms and then nothing. And then the night sky, and then nothing. And then you're on a rooftop with Avedon, who just sort of like stops and pulls her phone out.
When I like blink back into existence, I am in the middle of screaming, Hugo! And like suddenly I look around and I realize that this is not like I'm having to catch up with the world around me. And I just look at Avedon and I say, what the fuck? What the fuck? I had this. What the fuck?
I don't know, but then Hugo came in. I hope he'll be all right. Hopefully he's just taking a nap. We'll fix that, but it's turned into a bit of a mess.
Am I conscious?
Oh no, you are unconscious. You are in torpor. If you take any more damage, you will meet the final death.
Ooh, how do I get conscious?
Someone has to bring you out. Someone has to save you. Well, technically, you will snap out of it in a certain amount of time, but it's a long time for someone at your age. Otherwise, someone has to consciously bring you back.
This won't matter in 200 years. Whatever.
Exactly.
Have I made it to the alley? Like, am I to a point where I could scream something?
Yeah, I would say you make it back around in earshot. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say, well, you come around, you see this thing up on the fire escape, and it jumps off the fire escape and lands basically about 10 feet away from Eli. And that's when you come around the corner.
I will let Eli respond before I scream.
And how many successes was that for you, Dimitri?
Had to burn 2 willpower, but I got 7.
Crit or no crit?
No crit.
There is someone else here. And he smells like oil.
Oh.
You roughly know. Roughly. It doesn't innately break obfuscate, but you're like something else is around in this alley besides just him.
And I can't tell if it's a Nos or thin blood or any, like, that's it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, no. It doesn't just have the just kind of putrid stench of death that kindred do. It smells like something else. It smells unusual. Contextually, you think it's probably what a thin blood would smell like. Probably. Yeah. And it lands, and it's funny because this is a 400-pound monster that jumps off of like a 2-story fire escape, and it lands without a sound.
Well, if you would like to follow me, I'd be more than happy to show you. Now, I assure you, look, you're not going to like the state he's in. And I am going to pull out the phone. And I'm going to show him as proof that I know exactly where he is.
When you pull out the phone, Eli, it is impossibly fast. You're looking right at it. And it is just there. And it has a claw around your neck and an arm or a hand around your wrist, looking at the phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
As soon as that happens, I'm close enough that they can presumably hear me if I know the building's marked. Go get him yourself.
Did you do this?
No, we did not. Not the only thing I would ask, and I know that we don't have any reason to ask anything of you, but there are more people in there than just your brother. More people that don't deserve death.
Give me your charisma and persuasion, Eli. Let's see.
I get to add beautiful to that, right?
You can add your looks to this. You are a beautiful man. It's just like cue the soft light glimmer.
I
Around.
don't think I have much of any of those things.
Can I use awe to help him in the background? Like
you can try again. Supernatural creatures
behind Eli in this alley.
I'm gonna.
You know what? I will give you 2 extra dice to simulate her helping you.
Okay.
Abaddon, important point of clarification. As you were shadow stepping, was your goal to go closer to the gallery or further from the gallery? Because either is valid.
Damn this mute. I would be stepping away, but I think I would be trying to step Cherry towards an area where she could at least see Hugo, and then when the coast is clear, I could shadow step her one more time down to him.
Then I would say you would have, when you pulled her, we'll say you went up to the roof of the opposite building, because he went up to the fire escape where you drew the blood help. You can have shadow stepped up to the other rooftop, which would give you a view of the gallery, and also a view down into the alleyway. Yes, Eli.
Can I also rouse for this?
Yes, of course.
Then yeah, let me try that. I don't care if I fail at this point. Oh, I failed. Do I still rouse? I just get an extra hunger?
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do that so that because I really don't want to fail this, and I am gonna spend a willpower. Right now, I have 1 success on my blood die and 1 regular success, so I kind of need it. Oh, that's better. 3, 4, another crit, 5. So I have 2 crits and 4 regular successes. So that's
that's 8.
8, yeah.
He 8, okay. That is good because he just rolled ridiculously if he was about to attack you. Let's see. Was it 8, you say?
Yeah, yes, I did say. Or 9 or 10 or however many you think is a good number.
I know. You're like 18. 18 is
18.
How many it is.
Wow, all crits. Is that
exactly? You're like, I forgot this is vampire 18.
Right.
Eli, he goes, stay out of my way, and throws you to the back of the alley, but not into a wall. But he flings you probably 40 feet. Just in a, you were looking right at it. You're like, if he moves, I'm gonna shoot him. This is cool, no problem.
As soon as he got 10 feet, I knew it was too. I was like, oh.
Yeah. You guys see Eli goes flying, but you sort of like hit a dumpster, kind of come down in some trash. I mean, it doesn't particularly hurt you. You're aware of the fact that he could have if he wanted to, and is just almost in a blur, just like whoosh. Like you feel the like air blow past your hair, Esther, as he's gone. You, Abaddon. Oh, yes, Esther. Sorry.
I was going to say, as soon as I realize he's gone, I will run to Hugo and make sure that he is not, super dead, just the normal amount of dead.
When you get to Hugo, the arm that was laying on the ground has quickly turned to ashes. Just a pile of this like gunk on the street of the alleyway. He is embedded in the car with his eyes open and like his neck broken and back broken, just like crumpled, like he hit a car going 90 miles an hour.
Okay.
In his body is completely rigid, which you've been around long enough to know that's what torpor looks like. If you were to pull him out of the car, he will stay in that exact pose.
I will work on extricating him from
Okay.
sheet metal of the vehicle.
Dimitri, again, you're like there watching all of this and to see Eli go flying, but kind of be okay, and the wolf take off and Esther come running back, and you're not quite sure where Avedon and Cherry are. What would you like to do?
Is the oily scent still there?
You feel it moving. Again, contextually, you think when the lupine ran, it's running after the lupine, but it is invisible.
I'm gonna go out and watch them. I will come out of the shadow now, and I'll kind of tag the thin blood trail, and at least making sure that I'm keeping an eye on that, a nose on that, and go peep around the corner and see what havoc we just unleashed.
All right, you go running to the edge of the alley. Up on the roof, Avedon and Cherry, give me your wits and awareness.
Oh, sorry, 3 successes.
3.
Seven with a crit.
Cherry, you very faintly hear, hold on 1 second, sorry. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. Again, I appreciate that. Terrible messages. I'm very proud of all of you. Let me just say, I'm so proud of all of you that you hadn't played this game before. And here at the end, basically all of you have been like, so here's what I do. And I'm like, you could. Yeah. If not now, win. Sure. 7 with a crit. You, Avedon, hear gunfire sort of off in the distance, and across the way on the roof of the gallery. It's kind of difficult to see because you all are you're on about a 3-story building. The gallery is about 5, but you can make out the flashes of gunfire on the roof. A moment, basically, Avida, you essentially hear muffled gunfire and then like a door kicked open and loud gunfire. Once the door is open, Cherry, you hear the loud gunfire coming from the...
Like it's coming from the circulatory system?
Yes.
Okay, I'm still like reeling from my teleportation and kind of like shove Avedon. I'm like, what the fuck did you do? Why did you interfere?
Because he was going to rip your head off, which I was going to ask you, would you like to go find Hugo and possibly get him alive again, awake? Because if we go in there right now, I don't think either one of us are going to survive.
I had him under control, but yes, take me to Hugo.
Yes, all right. And I do. I grab her and I like put her in a bear hug and I step off of into one of the shadows, like behind something. It looks like I'm stepping off the roof, but then I step down onto the street level where Hugo was.
Cherry, it's awful. It's just awful. Like when she drops the Stygian shroud, that is bad. This is so much worse. Even though it lasts for mere seconds, it feels like you're hours of just inky, cold, clawing nothing. It's like you just cease to exist, and then you're back on the ground. And it is terrible.
I kind of try to fling Avedon off of me again and frantically, like while swaying and getting my bearings back, look around and take in the scene.
And the important point of clarification, hold on 1 second here.
Avedon is also staring intently at her phone, waiting for a text response.
All right. Again, you do not get a text back, but you very much hear gunplay on the roof. Still, Avedon. Over there. Meanwhile, Eli, what is Eli doing here?
So in front of me, Esther's kind of come and extricated the like stiff Hugo from the vehicle. And then Cherry's just reappeared. Do I see Dimitri?
Dimitri as the dog sort of like patted off. I mean, you were never quite incapacitated. Like he basically just like flung you far enough that you couldn't interfere. And you saw the wolf run after them. You see Esther is coming towards Hugo to try and extract him, and you actually don't have eyes on Avedon or Cherry just yet. You would actually probably be able to arrive at the car before anyone else did.
Okay. So as I get there, then with Esther kind of quickly, because she's also got celerity, I assume sprinting up behind me. Esther, I don't know. Do you want to go check on your people? I'm clearly distraught.
You're muted, Esther.
I'm clearly distraught at this point, as you see him kind of trying to pull Hugo out.
What did you all do?
Well, Hugo at some point
peacefully.
Yeah, well, Hugo decided at some point to try and stab it, and then that didn't work, and then where's Hugo's I think Avedon took her somewhere.
Where's Avedon?
I don't know. It was nice of everybody to abandon me there. That was real cool. But look, how about this? Hugo is in no state to be found this way. Why don't I arrange a pickup to get him out of here? Because at the moment, he is not going to do anyone any good.
What do you propose we do?
Well, since we've already sicked the beast on him, honestly, he said stay out of the way, and I'm all for staying out of the way. But if you have any friends you want to get out of there, I would sure as fuck hurry up.
Little late for that, I think.
Yeah,
probably
well,
could have done it earlier with a phone call if you'd let me.
Oh,
but
yeah, well, there was a plan, and doesn't seem like anybody stuck to it. So you know what? I'm done here. As I'm washing my hands of this. I've done
with Hugo because he's really stuck in this hood. Like I can't.
All right, and I am going to send a message. I'm going to send a text to try and get a vehicle to come move Hugo.
You're in Chelsea. They don't realize it's a war zone. So actually, it's fairly responsive, because especially relative to other I mean, it would be here within minutes.
I am going to try and see if we can find some stuff, wrap Hugo up in it like a package, kind of shove his arm in there, and call a vehicle, and I'm going to have him shipped off to safety at this point.
The car would arrive quickly. Between the two of you, you could extricate him out of the hood. Again, his body is completely rigid in the form in which it hit, so it's kind of a messed up sort of Tetris. I would say you could have ordered a big van knowing that, but you would be able to get him in the van. Do you send him away in the van, or do you leave with him?
You know what?
I'm gonna leave with him.
At this point, I'm gonna hop in, I guess.
Okay.
So no one's waking me up?
No, I'm gonna
no
hop in the car.
No one's giving me anything?
I'm gonna hop in the car with Esther.
I was gonna.
I would say about the time the Avedon and Cherry were attempting to return, you get down to the street level when the van pulls up and the door slides open, and there you see them loading Hugo in, and Avedon, your phone buzzes.
I look down at it.
It just says pinned.
Is there a pin drop?
No, PINNED, pinned, as in trapped.
Yeah, when you guys like look around, you just don't see Abaddon there anymore. She's taken back off into the shadows.
Mm-hmm. Dimitri, you by the time you get to the gallery, you hear alarms blazing, and you hear tick, 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 boom, and a huge door comes down, and you hear fuck, fuck, and you see Tig Ruane appear. He goes fuck, boom, and he punches it, and there's a loud echo. You know he hit it hard, but it is unmarked, and he just goes fuck, standing there.
How deep's the hatred for Thin Bloods go?
That is literally up to you. Some not as, I mean, like I would say there's a direct parallel between Nodist faith and not liking them. I mean, I'm not going to inform how Dimitri feels about it. That's up to you. But Nodist do not like Thin Bloods.
Yeah. So his back is to me. He is unaware of my presence, as it were.
See, he definitely seems otherwise occupied. I mean, he's still like he punches it and tries to like and of course it's nothing. He's helpless against this wall, but he is trying to get in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to hamstring him.
All right, give me your strength and brawl.
Do I get anything special as a wolf?
You do. You get a bonus to damage.
You get a treat for being the goodest boy.
That is true. You get tummy Zerberts. You get +1 to your damage.
Okay.
And you've got six physical dice. You're gonna add 6 to your brawl. And add another damage to that.
I'm out of dice.
I mean, why is life so hard? Yes. Cherry.
I know where you can get more.
It
is bit.ly.com/LUDB Dave Walters.
Thank you, Pusher.
Cherry, you do get down to the alley as you see them like moving Hugo's body into this van.
Yeah, I come running up and I see Hugo in this state.
Well, he's wrapped up like a present.
Yeah,
so.
true. Yeah, like you do. Yeah, I mean it's like this though, so like you have a pretty good idea that it's Hugo.
I'm like, no, you're supposed to be here to protect us. What can I do to rouse him?
Give me your wits and occult. Let's see if you know.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
You know if he's as old as he says he is, you probably can't. You need someone as old as you or older to rouse a torpid kindred. Well, age is relative, blood potency, but
or as old as that chair that just creaked.
I literally beat my fists angrily against the torpid form of Hugo, and I'm like,
"Oh, hey!
No,
he
ruined it. He was supposed to protect us, and he ruined it."
I'm aware of that. Okay, but he can't hear you now. Okay.
Well, I can't do anything to help him, so.
Well, I don't think any of us can, but I don't know if you've all picked up on this, but I have quite a bit of money, and I will make sure he's somewhere safe. And I'll check back on him periodically, and whenever he gets up, we can all discuss it then, assuming you all haven't stupided your way to death.
I'm sorry. Who didn't want to be here to begin with? We were going to kill them elsewhere when they weren't expecting it.
Oh, yeah. Well, looks like killing him was going to work really good. I'm glad we went. Oh, wait. That went. You know what?
With his pants off, he's probably more vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, you saw how fast he was. I don't really trust that. I don't really trust with this group with their own agendas that we would have been able to pull it off anyways.
So as Esther and Eli are getting into the van with Hugo, Cherry, you don't know where Avedon is, and I will say you did see Dimitri. Actually, all of you give me your wits and awareness. Eli, Esther, and Cherry.
Wits and awareness. That's my favorite.
Comes up a lot.
I'm rolling like crap tonight, guys.
Previously on Wits and Awareness.
Yeah, what the hell?
Two of those little bestial failure thingies.
Oh, nice.
Awareness. That's only a problem if you got 0 successes in those. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Great.
I have 4 successes.
It doesn't matter. Cherry's gonna kill us now.
With 4, well, Cherry, give me roll 1d10, an actual numerical d10, not a kindred die. I can roll one for you if you need me to.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
They're just off screen.
I got it.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Okay, Cherry. How many was that for you, Esther?
2.
And how many successes was that for you in that hamstring? Dimitri, 12.
Jesus.
Dimitri, you sink your leg into your teeth into his hamstring, and you almost rip his leg off. It just in a just shower of blood and gore that everyone but Esther notices. He screams and like stumbles backwards, in the street as this like wolf is mauling him. Cherry, in you snaps. And in your mind, you hear, Cherry, look at all of them. They don't respect you. They don't trust you. You had it under control. You had it under fucking control, Cherry. And look at this now. Hugo is fucking driftwood. Dimitri's over there eating people in the middle of the fucking street. What about the masquerade? They're all so smart. None of them care. None of them listen. You know what? Fuck all of this, Cherry. Fuck all of this. And you are in the grips of a harm compulsion. Until you hurt someone, you will be in the grips of the beast.
Can we tell that?
Eli, between you and I think she's gonna go for me first. Let's just be real.
He was already kind of twitchy. Yeah.
While this voice building inside my head, I turn to Esther and I grab her shoulders hard, digging my fingernails in, and I throw her full body to the ground.
That is strength and brawl.
Or try to, yeah. I try to.
If as Esther, assuming you resist, it is strength and brawl. If you let her do it, then it's not.
Well, so I was going to see if I could use my celerity to possibly throw a bow at her face when I see her going for me.
But that's the strength and brawl. Let's see here. Avedon.
Luckily for Esther, I ain't got none.
Avedon. Where do you go? You hear the gunfire on the roof of the gallery. You receive the message that he's pinned. Where do you go?
I'm going to try to get as close to the rooftop of the gallery as I can and stick to the shadows.
I would say that it's difficult to tell because, again, it's kind of 2 stories up, but you sort of can like make out a place and you sort of appear and you see Malik and he has several bullet holes in him. Around him are about 5 dead people. And he is standing over the body of the lupine, stretched out on the ground, unconscious. And there are about 6 more guards posted up for different places on the rooftop. and they're all behind cover, sort of shooting at him. And he bang, 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 bang.
Who are they shooting at?
Malik, the
They're
Banu
shooting-
Hakim, that is clearly trying to protect the lupine that is down on the ground.
Visual wise, is it
Mhm.
easier for me? How close together are the guards? Can I attack them all at once, or are they?
They are definitely spread out. Like, I mean, they're tactical. That's why he hasn't killed them yet. He killed a bunch, but the rest of them are, they have like those industrial grade, like air conditioning units and stuff, like they're sort of like down and bang, 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 bang.
Then
And
I'm
he
just gonna.
is out in the open.
I'm gonna step into a shadow near him and do the same thing I did with Cherry and just grab him by the ankle and dip.
Well, but he's got the lupine. He did get Arthur out of there. That's why he hasn't left yet. So he's got Arthur, but Arthur is unconscious, laying on the ground.
God, I can't bring them both, can I? It's only one at a time.
It would be extremely difficult. Yes.
Crap.
There's a chance you would lose one of them in transit to the oblivion.
I am going to at least shadow step over towards him and ask him what he would like to do.
Well, give me your dex and athletics, because now they've all got a clear line of fire at you too. Actually, I will say you can get close enough that you can just yell at him. That you don't necessarily. I mean, he can just hear. I mean, a lot's happening, but you can kind of get close enough to yell. And he's like, "You told me to get this creature out of there. I am following my lady's wishes."
And the guards are the dinner club, right?
Circulatory system guards. Yep.
Gotcha. Sorry for blowing your cover. How do we get him out of here? How do we get him out of there? What's this landscape look like there of getting the?
You're on the roof. The next roof is 2 stories down. You are aware that a rampaging lupine went in the front door, so that's probably not an option. And yep, you guys are up here with an unconscious lupine surrounded by guards, and Malik's beat up. You don't know how much more he's going to be able to take. He is clearly wounded.
I'm going to drop the shroud on us. Not on the lupine, but at least on the two of us.
Well, he is literally standing over the lupine, like protecting it. Like he's literally over it. Like it's between his legs while he's there fighting.
So the lupine is between the two of us as well?
Sorry,
I'm just very confused on the layout of where we're all at. I'm trying to do like battle strategy and like don't know where anyone's placed. I am the key market for minis, y'all. That's what I am.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, imagine he's standing on it like a surfboard. Like, I mean, he's over the lupine, protecting it with his life, like to not let anything happen to it. The other guards are arranged like around the edges of the roof, and they're all behind cover, like standing up and shooting at him. He's got no cover because you can see basically he didn't want to leave this thing. He's out in the open.
What are they ducking behind?
Like air conditioning units, like industrial grade air conditioning units.
Okay, I'm going to use an arm of Ahriman to rip the fucking AC unit out of the roof and just yeet it over the side so that he has a clear shot at them.
There's lots of them. Like you could do this and that'll
I'm
like
gonna
help
do it
him.
one at a time.
All right, then give me your dex and athletics because they can shoot back at you while this is happening here. Okay.
And what's her goal? I'm curious, just for me.
To get it so that he can escape and we can get the lupine out of there, or at least get it so that they're not just gonna mercilessly slaughter the lupine that's laying there unconscious just to wave it in his brother's face. Basically, make sure he doesn't die and make sure my friend doesn't die. And if that means I have to take out all these guards, that's what we're doing.
You could probably drop the Stygian shroud in such a way that he would have a chance to run while they like couldn't see through it. Like you can't drop it right on him because it will kill the lupine. It does breathe. It won't kill it as fast as it kills a person, but it will kill it. But you could, if your goal is to provide cover so he could escape, you could do that.
Are we escaping with the lupine, though? That's the question that
Uh-huh.
I'm still not understanding. We can get the
Mhm.
lupine out if we do that? Okay, then yes, that is what I would like to do.
Yeah, you probably got to help him. He's beat to hell, but yes, you you could drop the cover and do it. Yeah, still give me your dex and athletics because they know roughly where you were. You've got significant cover now, but you still might get shot.
Is a succeeded rouse for dex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not used to this roll.
All
I
right.
can look it up. I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
Because why not?
All right.
That's 4 successes.
All right. You do get hit with 2 different bullets for 4 superficial. So, I mean, it's very, it is heavy gauge weaponry. It hurts a lot. The fact that Malik is still standing is honestly kind of astonishing once you feel how bad those bullets hurt. And you drop the Stygian shroud, and he sort of like pauses for a second, and he's like, I did not know you were supposed to rescue me tonight, huh?
Oh, to each his own, dear. You get my back, I get your back. You know, each hand washes the other. That whole thing. And let's get the fuck out of here, shall we?
That would be my pleasure. Oh, and he leans and starts trying to pull but again, it's like 400 pounds. Like, it's huge. 400 pounds of like limp lupine. He's like, can you assist me with this, please?
Yeah, I do help. Mm.
Meanwhile, Cherry,
Yes.
how many successes was that in your strength and brawl?
2.
And how many? Esther, she goes to push, you move out of the way, and boom, easily, like, hey, get off me.
Calm down.
I like reel back and look at her, and then move, like take off, because I am trying to basically just get to the other side of her and get to the van. And
Yeah, you can get to the van.
Full rage mode. So basically, like, I take the hit from her after trying to move her out of the way. I run toward the van, and Hugo is laying there in the van in torpor, and I drive my fingernails into his chest.
I can't. Well, I'm gonna stop her.
I mean, you've got celerity, so I mean, you would be able to interpose yourself.
I'm going to
go ahead.
attempt to just fucking body check her and just knock her on her ass. And I'm gonna try and get out of there because I don't need her tearing Hugo apart at this point. So I guess
strength and brawl as you're trying for it. Dimitri, you watch like blood is pumping out of the ruin of his leg, and he's laying against the wall, and he's like, and you see he like pulls a gun out and like very weakly tries to shoot it at you. Like, I mean, he's bleeding out fast. You've essentially torn his leg off with that many successes.
Drop my head and then juke left, right, and then go for the gun hand.
Okay. All right. Roll it again.
Oh.
8.
It's just satisfying. It bites in it. And you are aware if you choose to, you can kill him. Like, he doesn't have much left.
Yep.
All right, hold on a second here.
Dimitri, death good.
All right. And how many was that, Eli?
8.
Cherry, did you get more than 8?
No, I had 2.
He shoved Van Vroom. Esther, are you going to try and make it into the van before it speeds away?
I guess I'll ride with these fools.
Give me Dex and Athletics, and you can add your celerity to see if you're fast enough to get into the van as it speeds away.
That's not a lot of dice, Dave.
I just want some blood, yo.
That's 4 successes.
Let's see.
Roll for van.
I literally am. You don't quite make it. It's close, but the door slams shut, roars off into the night. Up on the roof, Avedon, is you are helping the lupine up a bit. You hear all the gunfire stops. It is and you hear the clink, 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 clink. As things hit down like guns falling.
I think that's this one's brother.
Do you drop the shroud or do you leave it up?
I dropped the shroud, especially around the lupine.
When you drop the shroud, 10 Nosferatu are standing on the roof. And one of them steps forward and is like, "Is that the one that's been interfering?"
Yes, but well, no, not this one. There's been another one coming for him. It's his brother. This one was stolen by people of our kind. So I figured it would probably be best to get this one back to his kind before they start a war.
As long as it's not the one. And boom, the door to the roof explodes. And you see Osiri come out. And he is covered in blood. He is ripped and burned and shot and subjected to all manner of things. But comes out and looks around and sees his brothers. And the Nas says, "Is that the one?"
No, that's their sister. Their brother, the one responsible for the killings, and I look at the one who's clearly, obviously their brother. He left town already. Just let this one gather their tribe and go.
Give me your manipulation and subterfuge, and you can add your influence dice to it.
All right. I have to look all that up. Manipulation. Subterfuge. It's always fun to have the 4-page sheet until you have to look for things. Okay.
It's all fun and games till you got to roll them dice.
That's 7. 8. Sorry, that's a 7, not a 1. So 8 successes.
You see the Nosferatu just sort of tilts his head. And Osiri sort of like looks around. And you see his eyes are like half mad. And Malik is standing over his brother and just holds the guns up. And he's like, "My friend, go with Allah." And just steps off of him. And he's like, "Yeah." And the Nas are like, "If you say so. Looks like him to me, though." And Osiri, again, almost faster than you can perceive, takes his brother and jumps off the roof.
They were fraternal twins.
And they just sort of look at each other and they go, "Have you seen Hugo, by the way? He's not answering our calls."
What do the young people say? He got yeeted.
By who?
Oh, I have no idea.
They all look at you for a second and then kind of look at each other. And you see they all turn into, about half of them turn into bats and the other half just turn into mist. And are gone. Malik just sort of leans heavily on you and is like, I believe we may not be welcome at the next circulatory system get together.
I think that's a safe bet. And I'm going to offer him my wrist to see if he wants to drink, because I'm sure he wants to heal himself.
When you say that, he just literally holds his finger up and his face changes to one of those insufferable Ventru girls, Fleet Jernigan. And he's like, you didn't think I let them know that I took him, did you? And just like boops your snoot.
Nice.
I totes would like a drink, but not here, okay?
Right. Sounds good.
Meanwhile, you all make your various escapes into the night. Eli, where did Q go and what do you do with him?
So I guess since we're fast forwarding, yeah, basically I would say a secure storage facility, but it could even just be like a normal storage facility. Still wrapped up in the bundle that we put him in. I'm just going to kind of carry him in, sit him down on the ground, kind of shut the door behind me as I, kind of take my hat off to look at him. Hugo, you remember you told me how we have to make people stronger so that we can protect the people that really need it. I don't know. I think as I kind of look at him there, as I kind of just kind of try and unfold him, I think in another life we could have been close. I know a lot more loss than I think I'd like to admit. And I'm sorry, but know that you go in peace, and your strength will be used for good, I promise. And I'm going to lean down and I'm going to drain him dry.
Your intention is to diablerize him, kill him, and
Correct,
take his
yeah.
power? As you all make it back to the church, your various ways of getting back, Avedon, you have brought Malik back. Cherry, you beat the hell out of some dude on the street, satisfying the beast's demands.
That poor fan.
Yep, by hospitalizing some kid that was in the wrong place. Aren't you, Cherry? And you all make it back into the sanctuary of the church, having completed your mission and walking in back to where you were staying. You hear Apple's voice. Cherry, is that you?
Apple?
And she comes walking out, looking at you strangely, as clumps of her hair are falling out. And she holds up her hands, and there's 7 fingers on each hand. And she's like, this isn't what I wanted, Apple. This isn't what I wanted. And that's a good place for us to stop season 1 of Anarchs of New York.
Love you, Todd.
I just want you all to know his decision.
It wasn't going to end with a happy story.
His decision to embrace Apple and Eli's decision to diablerize him were quite independent of one another. Might I add? Well, I know we ran over. Thank you all for staying. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for staying with us. I will tell you, our story is going to continue, but it is going to continue in a different way, which I would like to give you a small epilogue. Avedon, as you make it back into the church, a tall man in an Armani suit is standing there. You have never seen him before.
Can I help you?
He looks over at you and he's like, actually, I'm here to help you. I understand there was some sort of situation where a werewolf was in custody and you helped liberate him. Is that true?
Oh, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. I'll wink at him with an oblivion eye.
He sort of scratches his head and looks around for a second. And there are a few people sort of like kneeling and praying. And he's like, well, I'm glad this bit of unfortunateness was resolved without further chaos. But I think it is important that you know, that all of you know, that that sort of behavior can't continue. Of course, you do know that, right? Again, I come to speak to you so openly because, again, you did assist to Garu in their moment of need.
Oh, sorry, Garu?
Let me put this another way. And he takes his glasses off and folds them. And he begins to change into the most beautiful white werewolf you have ever seen in your life. His head goes nearly to the roof of the cathedral, and all of the mortals inside, including Brother Kyle and Sister Megan, scream and run.
Oh,
And
that was a lot.
Yes. My name is Warden Jameson. I am a Silver Fang, and we are the law among the werewolves. Should there be any more incidents such as this, we will consider it an act of war. Do you understand this?
Oh, yes, and I figured you might take that as such, which is why me and the Chantry and my colleagues here were the ones that, well, yes, we were guilty for liberating your friend from their captors, which our kind, of course, will not take very kindly to, but, yes, that was us, and you're very welcome, and it was not intentional, so I guess I'm saying this because if you're going to rip off any kindred's heads, but just to make sure you leave this building alone. And I will continue to help you in any way I can.
He immediately shifts back, and you notice his suit comes back completely immaculate. He goes, no, were I to spill blood in a cathedral, my mother would never forgive me, God rest her soul. And he takes his glasses out and he puts them back on. And he's like, I'm glad our message was transmitted, and he starts to just walk past you towards the door, and he stops and he's like, but you may consider that I owe you one. And he opens the door and exits. Our story will continue on July 10th with Rage Across New York, a werewolf chronicle set in the streets of New York City. Yes.
The big
Hugo.
apple.
Will be an end credit sequence.
Well, you did, Hugo, but yes. Please, we'll have after credit scene. Yes.
I want the cowboy to see Apple and her many fingers
Okay.
and her hair falling out. And I want him to hear the words in his head. Should we make the people who are weak stronger so that they can fight? And you said yes.
Thank you all for coming with us on this adventure. We will be back July 10th at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern for Rage Across New York. Thank you all so much. You guys are terrible and I love it.